Discover how to safeguard your mind, enhance awareness, and foster resilience in the face of manipulation and deception. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. Albert Camus. The journey of understanding dark psychology is akin to discovering a hidden part of oneself. It is about peeling back the layers of deception and manipulation to reveal the core of personal resilience and strength. This tender exploration defines the essence of our collective quest for growth, awareness, and the ability to safeguard our minds against the subtle threats that pervade our interactions. Embarking on this journey, I found myself fascinated by the intricacies of human behavior and the shadows that dance just beyond the light of our awareness. The decision to write this book stemmed from a profound desire to illuminate these shadows for others, to empower you with the knowledge and tools needed to navigate the complex web of human interactions with grace, discernment, and resilience. Imagine yourself walking through a maze, blindfolded, with only whispers to guide you. This is how many of us navigate our social worlds, unaware of the intricacies of manipulation that weave through our daily interactions. I've heard countless stories of individuals who felt disempowered and vulnerable in the face of deceitful tactics. These narratives, whether they emerged from the personal anecdotes of friends or the professional challenges faced by psychologists and law enforcement officers, highlighted a universal need for clarity, understanding, and empowerment in the face of dark psychology. Inspiration for this work came from myriad sources, including the timeless wisdom of thinkers like Eckhart Tolle and Paulo Coelho, whose teachings on mindfulness, self-discovery, and spiritual growth mirror the journey toward understanding and resilience. This book is also a product of countless conversations with those who live on the front lines of psychological manipulation, whose experiences and insights have enriched these pages immeasurably. To you, the reader, your decision to delve into the sometimes unsettling yet ultimately enriching world of dark psychology speaks volumes of your courage and your desire for growth. This book is for the curious, the brave, and anyone in pursuit of becoming more assertive and aware in a world that often preys on the unsuspecting. No previous knowledge of psychology is required, only an open mind and the willingness to confront and understand the darker aspects of human interaction. I extend my deepest gratitude to all who have supported this endeavor, from the mentors who guided my understanding to the friends who provided encouragement, and most importantly, to you. Your curiosity and thirst for knowledge have brought these pages to life. As you continue to turn the pages, you embark on a journey not just through the concepts of dark psychology, but towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your untapped potential for resilience, assertiveness, and ethical discernment. Thank you for inviting this exploration into your life, and may you find within this book the tools and insights to navigate your path with confidence and grace. In a world of pervasive adaptation, understanding complexity is not only enlightening, but essential for personal empowerment. Welcome to The Resilient Mind, unraveling the secrets of dark psychology for personal growth, a transformative journey that equips you with the knowledge and skills to protect your mind, increase awareness, and enable resilience in the face of change and of fraud. In the pages of this book, you will delve into the shadowy realm of human behavior, where strategic plans designed to illuminate the path to personal growth and moral empowerment. Each chapter is carefully designed to lie within the mysteries of the dark mind, and for you power to find the strength to face inner suffering. Chapter by chapter, you will unlock the hidden language of influence and discover the motivation behind cheating. You will gain invaluable insight into the complexities of human psychology, from explaining human behavior to analyzing the thinking behind strategies. But this journey isn't just about understanding the dark side of human nature. It's about using that understanding to fortify your mind from change and develop resilience from within. You'll learn how to identify strategies, recognize red flags, and increase your personal safety in social situations. Again, the resilient mind goes beyond just defending itself. It delves into the moral implications of dark psychology and challenges you if you take its flow with honesty and clarity it is in the dryness. You will explore different perspectives, develop critical thinking skills, and sharpen your emotional intelligence to protect yourself from change while maintaining a moral compass. Additionally, this book is a guide to achieving a mindset shift, setting boundaries, and taking a journey of personal growth. By thinking in practical ways and insights, you will unlock the potential, build your fortress of resilience, and move through life's moves with honesty and clarity. Ultimately, a resilient mindset is a beacon of light in the shadows, empowering you to embrace moral progress, empower you in decision-making, and use insight for real-world resilience tips. As you embark on this transformative journey, remember, it's not about avoiding the darkness, it's about understanding it and coming out stronger on the other side. The Resilient Mind: Unraveling the Secrets of Dark Psychology for Personal Growth is a comprehensive guide designed to equip readers with the knowledge and skills necessary to navigate the complexities of dark psychology while fostering personal resilience to promote resilience and moral development. Let's explore what you'll find inside this comprehensive guide, examining chapter by chapter all the contents included. Chapter 1: Decoding Human Behavior. Understanding the hidden language of influence and deciphering human motivations behind deception, providing insights into recognizing manipulative tactics and navigating social interactions with awareness. Chapter 2: Safeguarding Your Mind. Exploring the battleground of the mind, identifying red flags of manipulation, and enhancing personal safety through increased awareness and proactive measures. Chapter 3: The Psychology Behind Human Actions. Unmasking the drivers of behavior, delving into the thought labyrinth of human interactions and weaving empathy and communication skills to enhance interpersonal dynamics. Chapter 4: The Ethical Application of Dark Psychology. Balancing the scales of influence, exploring the constructive power of ethical dark psychology, and harnessing insights for positive impact and constructive outcomes. Chapter 5: Exploring Diverse Perspectives. Investigating resilience within psychodynamic and cognitive behavioral theories, deconstructing manipulation tactics, and empowering interpersonal dynamics through reflection and growth. Chapter 6: Critical Thinking and Emotional Intelligence. Sharpening critical thinking skills, detecting manipulation shadows, assessing information critically, and nurturing emotional intelligence for resilience and growth. Chapter 7: Cultivating Mental Resilience. Fortifying the mind against invisible threats, fostering a growth mindset, practicing self-care, and developing coping strategies to withstand manipulation. Chapter 8: Setting Boundaries for Protection. Forging a mental shield through assertive living, establishing clear boundaries to protect autonomy in relationships, and upholding personal integrity against manipulation. Chapter 9: Journey of Personal Growth. Unveiling inner strength, engaging in continuous learning for self-awareness, building resilience step by step, and navigating social dynamics with integrity and clarity. Chapter 10: Integrating Dark Psychology for Ethical Growth. Committing to ethical behavior, transforming understanding into action, navigating society with discernment, and embracing ethical growth to empower decision-making and real-world resilience. In short, each chapter serves as a building block toward developing a strong mindset and ethical compass in navigating the complexities of human behavior and influence. So it's time to start an enlightening journey through the pages of The Resilient Mind, unraveling the secrets of dark psychology for personal growth. Delve into the depths of human deepest secrets, uncover the tactics of manipulation, and empower yourself with the tools to navigate life's complexities with resilience and integrity. Let's embark together on a transformative exploration towards personal growth and ethical empowerment. Turn the page and begin your journey today. Chapter 1: Decoding Human Behavior. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Charles Baudelaire. A soft haze of afternoon sunlight filtered through the gauzy curtains, casting a warm glow over the cluttered living room where Jasper sat, an unease nestled in his chest. The mahogany coffee table lay littered with scattered newspapers and the remnants of his morning coffee, stark against the muted colors of his modest apartment. The drone of distant traffic was a low hum, a soundtrack to his pensive state. Jasper, a man of earnest intentions, found himself caught in the undercurrents of social machinations. At his office, a den of corporate ambition, he observed the deceptive play of colleagues, like shadowy figures in a dance of duplicity. A promotion he'd been eyeing, one he felt within his grasp, became the stage for covert rivalries. He had learned of whisper campaigns questioning his commitment, subtle jabs aiming to erode his standing with the management. The tension in the room was a living thing, like the oppressive heat before a storm. His mind wandered to a conversation he had overheard, where laughter was a mask for scorn and smiles concealed barbed intentions. The recollection was a sour note played in the symphony of his thoughts. Jasper knew he must navigate these treacherous waters with care, lest he be drawn into the undertow of manipulation that threatened his sense of self. As he stood, the soft fabric of his faded jeans brushed against the textured arm of the second-hand couch, a tactile reminder of the comfort found in simplicity. Jasper made his way to the window, the city sprawling before him, a tapestry of lives intertwined. His own, a single thread, seemed to fray under the weight of hidden agendas. He pondered the allure of influence, the subtle art of pressing upon the wills of others, guilelessly, like the shadow that bends at the whim of light. A knock at the door sliced through his reverie, a pivot point beckoning him back to the present moment. The crisp autumn air greeted him as he opened the door to find his neighbor, an elderly woman with eyes reflecting wisdom hard-won by years. She handed him a package mistakenly delivered to her door, her smile genuine, untainted by guile. In that smile, he found a momentary solace, a spark in the dimming light of his faith in others. The deliberate pace of his heartbeat was a drumbeat to the tune of his contemplation. Can one thrive among such veiled schemes without losing one's authenticity? Or is the game of deception an inevitable rite of passage in the quest for personal success? Deciphering the hidden language of influence. Human behavior is an intricate dance, an ongoing interplay of actions, motives, and perceptions. Understanding the foundations of manipulative and deceptive behaviors offers the key to not just responding to them, but also to preparing our minds against possible psychological onslaughts. It is about curating mental resilience in a world where these dark treks into manipulation are not just possible, but prevalent. Manipulative behavior often springs from deeply embedded psychological engines that in Chapter 1 we aim to disassemble and scrutinize, to provide the clarity needed to fortify your psychological well-being. The quest begins by delving deep into the gears of those who weave influence and deceit as effortlessly as breathing. The mechanisms driving these behaviors range from the overtly aggressive to the subtly coercive. By understanding these mechanisms, we equip ourselves with the ability to spot and interpret the subtle cues of manipulation. This awareness becomes our shield, aiding us to navigate social interactions with our eyes wide open, making informed decisions based on insight rather than emotion. The exploration of human influence does not merely expose us to the darker sides of psychology, but also illumines our own reactions and vulnerabilities in various situations. It lays bare the often unseen strings that can guide our decisions and sway our emotions. Recognizing how individuals may try to influence us is central in developing strategies to mitigate unwarranted control and preserve our autonomy. Recognizing these attempts at persuasion enables us to respond with intention, reclaiming control of our own narrative. Heightened awareness is an art form one can master, a skill to be honed through patience and understanding. As we venture through this guide, an important lesson awaits. Our social interactions are also a mirror reflecting our internal state. To perceive the intricacies of manipulation around us, we must be attuned to the subtle nuances of our own inner dialogue. By aligning our heightened social perception with self-awareness, we brew a potent concoction of mental fortitude. This chapter goes beyond merely diagnosing the external stimuli and probes into how we can calibrate our reactions to these influences. It hints at the discernment we can cultivate, illuminating the path to personal mastery over our responses. As we navigate this path, our resilience, like a swiftly flowing river, carves its way through the persistent challenges of psychological manipulation, forging a deeper understanding of our own boundaries and strengths. Mastery over oneself is the ultimate blueprint for resilience. It lay in realizing that every interaction is a chance to apply the newfound wisdom from these pages. This wisdom is more than self-protection. It is an invitation to personal growth and the expansion of our consciousness. The voyage is both protective and transformative, promising an unshakable sense of self amidst the currents of dark psychology. However, decoding human behavior is not a sterile academic exercise. It is deeply personal and quintessentially human. You, the reader, are invited to engage with this content as part of a personal journey, recognizing it as a meaningful dialogue with your innermost self. As we traverse through these insights, let them not be fleeting thoughts, but transformative revelations that accompany your growth as an individual. Moreover, let this analytical voyage be a harmonious blend of self-empowerment and collective wisdom, as it sets the tone for the rest of the resilient mind. Embarking on this journey, remember that the end goal is resilience, a calm in the storm of dark influences. With each page, may you find that the most potent defense against the shadows of manipulation lies within the bastion of your own enlightened mind. Decoding human motivations behind deception. Human behavior is as complex as the wiring of our brains, intricate and multi-layered. At the foundation, actions often stem from a survival instinct, a need to protect oneself or gain advantage. Nowhere is this more evident than in manipulative behaviors, which are deeply ingrained strategies to influence others for personal benefit. The tendency for such conduct can have roots reaching back to early human history, where deception might have meant the difference between life and death. Imagine, if you will, a chameleon. This creature changes its colors not with ill intent, but as a means to survive within its environment. Similarly, manipulative individuals often adjust their behaviors to blend in or influence situations. They may employ flattery, deceit, or coercion, all colored by the context in which they find themselves. Critical to understanding such behavior is recognizing its adaptive nature, as it often originates from an individual's perceived necessity to control their circumstances. Factors such as personality traits, past experiences, and current pressures can drive someone toward deceptive practices. Psychological theories like the dark triad, which includes narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, illustrate profiles that are particularly prone to manipulation. Unraveling these behaviors involves peering into a person's motivations and the rewards they seek, whether that be power, control, or avoidance of consequences. While it can be unsettling to consider, deception is not a rarity. It's woven into the daily fabric of human interaction. It can appear harmless, as in the case of white lies to spare someone's embarrassment, or it can be destructive, as with systematic gaslighting, meant to undermine someone's reality. But by delving into the complexities of these mechanisms, we can begin to recognize patterns and protect ourselves from potential harm. The key to understanding manipulative behavior lies in exploring the subterranean motives that drive an individual to such lengths. The subtle art of influence. Every day, we traverse a minefield of social interactions where influence and persuasion are the invisible forces shaping our decisions. Understanding how others can sway us starts with recognizing that influence is not inherently malevolent. It exists in the encouragement of a friend, the persuasion of a leader, or in the comforting words of a loved one. Yet, the intent behind the influence is what ultimately determines its ethical standing. Influence molds our perspectives in ways we often don't notice, like a potter's hands quietly but firmly shaping clay. As individuals interact with us, their words and actions leave imprints, subtly guiding our thoughts without us being none the wiser. Our own reactions, too, are telltale. They echo our personal histories, beliefs, and biases, making some of us more susceptible to certain types of influence than others. It's not just about the spoken word. Non-verbal cues deliver volumes in this silent dialogue. A smile, a frown, a crossed arm, all are potent signals that can dictate the flow of power and persuasion in an interaction. Our brains are wired to pick up on these signals, often processing them on a subconscious level where they can either put us at ease or set off alarms. Yet why do we react in the ways that we do? A simple request might elicit compliance from one person, while it triggers defiance in another. This is the interplay of personality, experience, and the context of the situation, which together weave a complex tapestry of human behavior. The implications of understanding this dance of persuasion are profound, allowing us to anticipate and navigate the dynamics of influence in our lives. The very act of reflection upon these influences can, in itself, be empowering. It's a step toward not just understanding others, but also mastering the nuances of our own behavior. How we assimilate the influence of others, balance it against our values, and choose to react ultimately shapes the path we walk on. How might our awareness of these subtle forces reshape the way we perceive our choices and the influences behind them? Stepping with awareness through the social milieu. Navigating the social world with a heightened sense of awareness is akin to a trekker using a compass in the wilderness. Just as a compass provides direction, an enhanced awareness helps us make informed decisions in the complex landscape of human interaction. It equips us to recognize the attractive facade of charm as potentially nothing more than a mirage, cloaking a treacherous quicksand of deception. To build such awareness, it's essential to approach social exchanges with a mix of engagement and observation. Listen not only to what is being said, but also to the unsaid, the intonation, the pauses, the choice of words. These all hold clues, pieces of a puzzle that once assembled reveal the underlying intentions of our conversational partners. Like a detective, we piece together reality from clues scattered across the conversation. Being aware also means acknowledging our own biases. We filter the world through lenses tinted by our past experiences and beliefs. Recognizing this allows us to distinguish between an instinctual reaction and an informed response. It's the difference between seeing a shadow and reacting to a perceived threat, or recognizing that it's just a tree swaying in the wind. Enhanced social awareness doesn't require us to approach every interaction with distrust. Instead, it's about fostering a balanced vigilance. We can still savor genuine connections and relish authentic exchanges, but we remain alert to manipulative undertones. Knowing when to trust and when to question is a skill honed through experience and reflection. Our decisions, made at the intersection of instinct and insight, can lead to resilience against manipulation. They enable us to participate in the ebb and flow of social dynamics while safeguarding our mental landscape. By understanding the motives behind manipulative behavior, recognizing the influence others have on us, and navigating social interactions with awareness, we carve a path to resilient decision-making in the midst of life's complexities. Throughout this chapter, we have delved deep into the intricate web of human behavior, uncovering the subtle yet powerful mechanisms that often go unnoticed. By understanding the various ways in which manipulation and deception operate, we have taken the first crucial step towards fortifying our mental resilience and safeguarding our well-being. Knowledge is power when it comes to decoding human behavior. With this newfound insight, we can begin to recognize the subtle cues and tactics employed by those who seek to influence us. By understanding the underlying motives and techniques, we are better equipped to navigate social interactions with heightened awareness and make more informed decisions. In the complex tapestry of human relationships, awareness is our shield against manipulation and deceit. By cultivating a deeper understanding of the hidden forces at play in our interactions, we empower ourselves to establish boundaries, protect our interests, and nurture genuine connections based on trust and authenticity. As we journey forward armed with this knowledge, let us embrace the potential for growth and personal transformation that lies ahead. By honing our awareness and resilience, we can rise above the challenges of manipulation and deception, fostering a resilient mind capable of navigating the complexities of the human experience with grace and wisdom. Chapter 2. Safeguarding Your Mind. The human mind is a labyrinth of darkness, where shadows dance and whispers deceive. Edgar Allan Poe. In the muted light of early dusk, Lydia strolled defiantly through the bustling streets of her hometown, each footfall a silent testament to her determination not to be bent by the winds of manipulation that had once cast shadows on her soul. The city around her breathed with the life of the innocent and the guile of the charismatic deceivers alike, a sea of faces that both intrigued and alarmed her. She recalled the stinging lessons of a past cloaked in sweet words and empty promises, of that charismatic figure, a wolf in friend's clothing, who weaved a web of control so subtle it appeared caring. The lattice-work of little lies and critical comments that chipped away at her confidence had been difficult to perceive, but left an indelible mark upon her spirit. Now wiser, Lydia navigated social spheres with an invisible armor, her senses alert to the faintest hue of dishonesty. Her ears picked up on the nuance in tones, the way one might discern the false note in a complex symphony, and her eyes sought the truth hidden within gazes, striving to protect her mental well-being from the specters of her trust misplaced. As she paused at a street corner, the murmur of life continued around her, the vibrant laughter of friends spilling from a nearby cafe, the solemn nod of an elderly man in quiet contemplation, the tender grasp of a mother's hand in a child's. Here, in the simple tapestry of everyday scenes lay the fleeting moments of sincerity that she held dear, those unpolluted by malignant intent. Lydia understood now that the path to personal safety was not just a matter of locked doors or guarded possessions, but also of a guarded heart, mindful of red flags waving in the emotional gusts of an all-too-convincing guise. Could it be that our greatest strength lies in the ability to see beyond the masquerade, to discern the essence of intentions with unclouded eyes? Your mind, the battlefield for influence. Our lives are inundated with information and interactions, some benign and some malicious in nature. Understanding this labyrinth of influence is vital. It begins with recognizing manipulation and control techniques. When we learn to identify these, we create a defense mechanism against potential mental and emotional harm. This knowledge is not just theoretical, it has profound practical applications, such as maintaining autonomy in decision-making and nurturing a sound mental environment. The perils of psychological manipulation can be subtle, manifesting as benign persuasion in one moment and warping into coercive control in the next. Safeguarding your mind involves a continuous conscious effort to discern these varying degrees of influence. The tapestry of deception, unweaving red flags. As we navigate through our social realm, the ability to pinpoint red flags becomes paramount. These warnings are indicators of deceptive practices that may otherwise ensnare us. To be truly resilient, one must possess a keen sense of awareness, an alertness to the nuances of social interaction that could otherwise lead to exploitation. It is not a matter of distrust, but rather a cultivated intuition that empowers us to foresee potential mental predation and act to prevent it. Through reflection on past interactions, acceptance of personal vulnerabilities, and an honest acknowledgement of humanity's darker facets, we become adept at avoiding pitfalls that were once camouflaged among our daily exchanges. A fortress of safety, where security meets social interaction. Our personal safety and security are often taken for granted, yet they require our vigilant guardianship within a variety of social contexts. Being alert to the dynamics of power and persuasion in every interaction empowers us to maintain our mental integrity. From office politics to intimate relationships, the spectrum of communication demands an equally varied approach to self-protection. Whether it's asserting boundaries in professional settings or navigating the complexities of emotional intimacy, a clear understanding of one's own limits and the intentions of others lays the groundwork for a fortified mental state. Ultimately, We can move within these diverse social landscapes with confidence, not paranoia, when equipped with the awareness and skills to do so. In this pursuit of mental resilience, reflection and introspection are indispensable allies. Understanding our own values and boundaries allows us to recognize when they are being challenged or transgressed. Moreover, the very act of self-reflection enhances our psychological fortitude by fostering a deeper connection with our core self, making us less susceptible to external manipulation. It imbues us with a sense of confidence that is both protective and liberating, enabling us to engage with the world from a place of strength rather than fear. The journey to safeguarding one's mind is not a solitary one. It thrives on the shared experiences and collective wisdom of others who have navigated the murky waters of dark psychology. By tapping into this reservoir of knowledge, we can adapt time-proven strategies to our personal context. As we do so, we transform vulnerability into empowerment, turning what could be a mind fraught with the scars of manipulation into a resilient, thriving nexus of personal growth. The art of building a resilient mind is much like cultivating a garden. It demands patience, consistent nurturing, and an understanding of the ecosystem it thrives within. As we learn and adapt, we might find that what once harmed us now serves as a catalyst for growth and empowerment. Thus, as we advance through this chapter, let us do so with the intent to nourish our mental garden, prune away the harmful, and cultivate a vigorous state of being that can withstand the ever-present proposition of dark psychology. Recognizing manipulation and control techniques. Every day, our minds are targeted by a barrage of attempts to influence our thoughts and behaviors. At the workplace, in social settings, and online, manipulation tactics can be subtle or overt, but they all share the same goal: to sway our decisions in favor of another's agenda. The first step in protecting mental well-being is to understand that manipulation is not always malevolent. Sometimes it's a salesperson pushing a product, or a friend coaxing us into their choice of restaurant. Imagine a puppeteer, deftly pulling strings to make a marionette dance. This is akin to how manipulators work. They pull on the emotional and psychological strings of their targets to elicit desired reactions. They might use guilt, flattery, or even fear to nudge a person toward a specific decision. It's important to recognize these strings in our own lives so we can stop the dance of manipulation. Manipulators often use techniques such as gaslighting, where they make one doubt their own memory or perception. They might also deploy the scarcity tactic, insisting that an opportunity is fleeting to create a sense of urgency. Another common technique is the foot in the door approach, where they ask for something small before making a larger request. By being aware of these tactics, we can start to question situations that feel engineered to direct our actions or thoughts. Awareness is our shield. It allows us to see beyond the immediate appeal of persuasive speech or the artificial urgency of a manipulator's request. Scrutiny can reveal the skeleton of manipulation, the framework of intent hidden beneath seemingly harmless interactions. As we build our understanding of these techniques, we fortify our minds against involuntary control. Knowing the signs and techniques of manipulation is essential to safeguard our mental autonomy. Identifying red flags and preventing deception. Deception often wears the mask of truth. To trick the mind, deceivers present their lies wrapped in a veneer of apparent honesty, making detection a challenge. It's crucial, then, to cultivate a radar for red flags that signal disingenuous intentions or misleading information. But what are these flags and how do we spot them? A red flag might flutter in the tone of a voice, a little too smooth, a touch too rehearsed. It peeks out when stories shift, facts change just slightly with each telling, or when details seem supple, bending to fit new questions. It's the inconsistency that pricks the ears, the sense that something isn't quite fitting the picture that's been painted for us. In our daily interactions, we must listen for the unsaid just as carefully as we listen to what is spoken. Sometimes, the truth hides between the lines, in the pauses and the sighs. Deception thrives in the absence of scrutiny. By learning to read these signals, we empower ourselves to ask probing questions that can unveil the truth. Consider a patch of quicksand. On the surface, it appears harmless, almost like any other patch of wet earth. But it is the subtle signs that give away its treacherous nature: the lack of solid footprints, the unusually smooth surface, the slight ripple of movement. Just as a traveler in the wild learns to read these signs to avoid danger, so must we learn to detect the subtleties that betray deceptive practices. An effective way to prevent falling into the traps of deception is to adopt a thinking framework. This might involve a step-by-step process of verification, where we corroborate stories against known facts, check the credibility of their source, and cross-reference with other evidence. Being methodical can clear the fog that deceit often creates. How will tuning into these red flags change your approach to trusting the information you come across every day? Enhancing personal safety in social contexts. Social interactions are a mosaic of nuances and subtleties, a dance of verbal and nonverbal cues where we continuously interpret and respond. To enhance our personal safety and security in these complex environments, we must be attuned to the hidden layers of communication beneath the surface. It's a matter of understanding not just what is said, but also why it might be said and what isn't being said at all. Remember that, like a fortress, our psyches have defenses, boundaries we establish around our comfort, principles, and trust. When we properly maintain these ramparts, they protect us from social aggressors and manipulative tactics. Boundaries are the firm line we draw in the emotional sand, signifying where respectful interaction ends and coercion begins. It's not just about building walls, it's also about maintaining a vigilant watchtower. In a watchtower, one can spot the telltale signs of approaching threats. So in social contexts, we must observe the dynamics of power, the shifts in conversation that suggest an underlying attempt at control or the planting of discomforting suggestions. It's this attention to the subtler aspects of dialogue and behavior that fosters a proactive stance towards our personal security. Analogously, imagine navigating through a crowded market, senses alert to every movement, sound, and scent. This heightened state of awareness is crucial, not only for enjoying the richness of the experience, but also for recognizing potential pickpockets. Similarly, in social situations, being alert enables us not just to engage meaningfully, but also to deflect attempts at manipulation and coercion. Building on awareness, we can establish guidelines for ourselves, a protocol for interaction that keeps us grounded in situations that might challenge our mental or emotional equilibrium. These can be simple rules, like allowing ourselves time to make decisions instead of yielding to pressure, or committing to disengage from conversations that veer into uncomfortable territory. By recognizing manipulation tactics, heeding red flags, and maintaining our personal boundaries, we create a sanctuary of the mind that is resilient against the forces that seek to sway us. Embracing awareness for personal empowerment. As we conclude this chapter, remember the power that comes with acknowledging the tools at play in the realm of mental manipulation. By recognizing manipulation techniques and staying vigilant against control tactics, you are taking the first steps towards safeguarding your mind. Identifying red flags and understanding how deception operates grants you the ability to navigate social interactions with a newfound sense of clarity. Your awareness serves as a shield, deflecting attempts to influence your thoughts or actions without your full consent. Through this journey, you have learned that enhancing your personal safety and security is not solely about physical protection, but also about fortifying the boundaries of your mind. As you continue to explore the intricate dance between influence and autonomy, keep in mind the responsibility you hold in nurturing your mental resilience. In the upcoming chapters, we will delve deeper into strategies to strengthen your mental fortitude and further unravel the mysteries of dark psychology. Stay open to growth, embrace the discomfort of self-awareness, and trust in your ability to navigate the complexities of the human mind. Chapter 3. The Psychology Behind Human Actions. The most dangerous lies are the ones we tell ourselves. Sigmund Freud. Under the muted glow of the overcast sky, Eva walked through the park, her mind pacing faster than her steps. She had been in the middle of a situation that tested her comprehension of human behavior, one that required her to tap into depths of empathy she hadn't known she possessed. The nippy air bit at her face, painting her cheeks a rosy hue as she considered the words of her brother. "You always think you know people," he had said, his voice laced with a mix of disappointment and resignation. She pondered the complexity of the lives that wove in and out of her own, and the unseen forces that drove people to act in the ways that they did. The crunch of dry leaves underfoot offered a counter melody to the sounds of distant laughter and the whisper of the wind through the trees. A couple argued on a bench, their voices low and fraught with tension. Eva strained her ears to shut out the world, but their quarrel invaded her focus, their problem indecipherable, yet unmistakably real. It was a stark reminder of how interactions are shaped by thoughts and feelings, often hidden beneath the surface like the roots of the grand oak she just passed, out of sight but foundational. In the simplicity of the afternoon, children played, uninhibited by the concerns that weighed heavily on the hearts of their elders. The straightforward joy in their laughter echoed an untainted perspective on life. Eva admired their unguarded openness, wishing adult connections could be fostered with such ease. What would it mean, she mused silently, to communicate with the unaffected truth of a child? Her heart longed for that purity in her own life, to understand and be understood with simplicity and straightforwardness. She sat on a vacant, weathered bench, noticing the synchronized dance of the birds above. They moved as one, an expression of trust and shared purpose. To have that kind of connection with another human seemed a distant dream, but it was one that stirred a ceaseless yearning deep within her. Could such harmony be mirrored in her own interactions? Would she ever learn to convey her inner world effectively, to build a bridge across the chasm of human misunderstanding? Silent and still, Eva continued her contemplation, a lifetime of social enigmas stretching out before her. The golden hues of sunset began to streak across the once gray canvas above, demonstrating nature's disposition for change. As the sky transformed, so too did a glimmer of hope spark within her for growth and the possibility of deeper understanding. What would it take, she wondered, as the day conceded to twilight, for us to truly comprehend the dance of our own thoughts and those of others? And could such insight forge a path to authentic connection? Unmasking the drivers of behavior. Our every action, no matter how mundane, is rooted in a complex tapestry woven from the threads of our psyche. It is this intricate interplay of thought and emotion that propels us forward, dictating the dance of our interactions and the rhythm of our personal development. Grasping the psychology behind our behaviors offers us not just insight into the essence of who we are, but also illuminates the paths we might take towards growth and resilience. In the labyrinth of the human mind, there are countless factors that nudge our actions in one direction or another. Culture, environment, past experiences, and innate desires all contend for dominance in shaping our behavior. By delving into these influences, we gain a deeper appreciation for the factors influencing behaviors, unveiling not only the darker corners where manipulation might seek to take root, but also shedding light on our capacity for compassion and empathy. To navigate the waters of human interaction, we must first chart the depths of thought processes that both bind and separate us. Recognizing the cognitive patterns that orchestrate our interactions allows us to identify when these processes are healthy extensions of our personality, or perhaps twisted into something more sinister by external forces. Armed with this knowledge, we become skilled at deciphering the underlying motivations that drive those around us, and importantly, the triggers within ourselves that might leave us vulnerable. Understanding others begins with understanding self, fostering a reflective mindset that paves the way for genuine empathy. This empathy, in turn, forms the bedrock upon which we improve our communication skills and construct more meaningful connections with those around us. Here, in the milieu of shared understanding and mutual respect, we find the key to fortifying our mental resilience against the shadowy elements of dark psychology. It is a fundamental truth that to understand others, we must first understand ourselves. The journey inward is not always comfortable, but it is essential. It allows us to glimpse the realities of our inner workings, our motivations, insecurities, and the unconscious biases that guide our daily lives. This process of self-reflection is not an act of indulgence. Rather, it is an act of self-preservation and empowerment, equipping us to face life's adversities with a steadfast mind. Yet this voyage of self-discovery does not occur in isolation. Human connections serve as both the catalyst for growth and the mirror that reflects our journey. Through interactions with others, we become privy to an array of perspectives, challenging our beliefs and expanding our horizons. When we understand the psychological ties that bind human experiences, we are able to move beyond mere survival, fostering relationships that help us to flourish and thrive even in the darkest of psychological landscapes. Ultimately, the dance of human behavior is a nuanced and intricate performance, with each step influenced by a plethora of seen and unseen forces. It is by shining a light on these forces, by recognizing, understanding, and empathizing with a plethora of human experiences, that we weave the tapestry of a resilient mind. A mind equipped to navigate the challenges posed by dark psychology can transform difficulties into opportunities for personal growth and enrichment. Exploring the undercurrents of behavior. Human behavior is a complex tapestry woven from myriad threads: emotions, experiences, beliefs, and biology. These threads interlock in intricate patterns, forming the fabric of our actions. To gain a deeper appreciation for the factors influencing behaviors, imagine watching a river flow. From a distance, it appears to move uniformly, but upon closer inspection, you can see how underwater currents, rocks, and the riverbed shape its course. Similarly, our external actions are the river's surface, affected by the unseen forces beneath. Beneath the observable action of every person lies an elaborate network of psychological imperatives. Shaped by the interplay between genetic predispositions and environmental conditions, behavior is not merely a choice, but an output of complex programming. Studies in epigenetics now reveal how life experiences can change the way genes work, thus altering behavior in profound ways. These genetic switches can make an individual more vulnerable or resilient to stress, which will inevitably affect their actions and reactions. On an even finer scale, consider how past experiences carve deep grooves in the psyche, like riverbeds guiding water. Childhood experiences, for instance, can lay down patterns that persist into adulthood, impacting everything from how we form relationships to how we cope with adversity. The behavior that others observe is just the result of our internal rivers following the path of least resistance, often dictated by these long-standing grooves. It is also essential to recognize the potent role of social influence, sometimes a gentle nudge, other times a powerful current, on our behavior. Social psychologists have long studied how norms, roles, and expectations within a group can greatly change how an individual acts. Think of the way leaves on the surface might suddenly change direction with a change in the wind. So too can human behavior swiftly adapt to align with the expectations of others around us. Yet while these forces are powerful, they are not unassailable. Like engineers who redirect water to prevent erosion or provide irrigation, we can learn to adjust our behaviors through self-awareness, discipline, and support. Acknowledging this multiplicity of influences not only gives us insight into why we act the way we do, but also how we might change undesired behaviors for the better. Our actions are the visible expressions of the concealed currents of genetics, experience, and social influence. The thought labyrinth, decoding interactions. At any given moment, our minds are bustling hubs of thought, contemplation, deduction, and emotion. To understand the thought processes that shape interactions, peer into this labyrinth of the mind. Here, every decision, no matter how trivial, is deliberated and weighted, like a vendor at a bazaar, meticulously scrutinizing each scale's balance. These cognitive processes are as diverse as they are complex, from snap judgments formed on first impressions to intricate deliberations that span days or even years. These mental scales, upon which we measure our every interaction, are not always perfectly balanced. Cognitive biases, Systematic errors in thinking that affect our judgment and decisions frequently tilt them. The confirmation bias, for instance, loads the scale with a preference for information that confirms pre-existing beliefs, while ignoring or discounting evidence to the contrary. This skew can affect everything from simple conversations to major life choices. Think of dialogue as an exchange of tennis balls across a net. Each player brings their own style and strategy into the game. The way we think and process information is our unique playing style, which significantly affects the trajectory of our conversational volleys. Some players might play aggressively, hitting the ball hard and fast, akin to straightforward direct communicators. In contrast, others approach with more finesse, spinning the ball or using a soft touch, reflective of more nuanced and contemplative communicators. Attention is a notable player in the arena of thought. It acts as the spotlight of the mind, illuminating specific ideas while leaving others in shadow. Just as a flashlight can only brighten a portion of a darkened room at once, attentional focus shapes our interactions by highlighting certain thoughts or feelings while neglecting others. This narrow beam influences our perception of situations, which in turn guides our reactions and interactions. The power to reflect upon and edit our thought processes is a human triumph that lies at the heart of personal growth. By becoming mindful of our biases and by learning to steer our attention with intention, we can reshape our interactions. Through self-examination, we acquire the agility to navigate conversations and relationships with greater awareness and skill. But what if the very tools we need to refine these processes are already within us, awaiting activation? What mental muscle should we flex or relax to straighten out the biases that tilt our scales? Weaving the social fabric: empathy, communication, and connections. Empathy is the thread that weaves the fabric of human connection, allowing us to stitch together meaningful relationships. It is the ability to perceive and can interpolate the emotional landscapes of others, akin to imagining yourself walking in someone else's shoes. Just as a cobbler feels the leather, considers the design, and chooses stitches carefully, empathy involves a similar tactile and considerate approach to understanding others. When we cultivate empathy, we become more responsive to the subtle cues in people's expressions and tones. This deeper understanding enhances our ability to communicate effectively. Communication is a dance, and empathy teaches us to move in sync with our partners. It tunes us into the rhythm of someone else's feelings, creating a graceful ballet of verbal and nonverbal exchanges. Empathy can transform the simplest exchange into a bridge between souls. It lends an ear to the unspoken words, those whispers of the heart that never quite make it to the tongue. With the perspective empathy offers, communication metamorphoses. Words are chosen with care, tones are moderated with understanding, and responses are crafted with consideration. Perhaps it's worth asking, how different would our world be if all people communicated through a lens of empathy? Building meaningful connections is the art of aligning individual threads of experiences and aspirations to form strong bonds. It's not just about understanding or communicating. It's about infusing those exchanges with authenticity and shared intent. Such bonds are the cable-stayed bridges of human relationships, resilient and designed to withstand the pressures and distances of life. A critical element in building these connections is the reciprocation of empathy, when two individuals mutually acknowledge and validate each other's feelings and perspectives. This reciprocity creates a positive feedback loop, strengthening the relationship and fostering a deeper sense of trust and camaraderie. A nurturing step-by-step process to engender this level of connective tissue involves actively listening, expressing genuine interest, offering support without judgment, and sharing one's own emotions judiciously. Through these actions, we not only foster empathy but also model it, encouraging others to open up and reciprocate. Together, gaining a deeper appreciation for behavioral influences, understanding thought processes, and mastering empathic communication weave the resilient mind's tapestry, one that can withstand manipulation and deception while making authentic connections. Final reflections. As we close this chapter, we have delved deep into the intricate web of human psychology, unraveling the complex factors that drive our behaviors and shape our interactions. Understanding these underlying mechanisms is key to navigating the complexities of human nature. By gaining insight into the factors influencing behaviors, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for the intricacies of human actions. These behaviors are often a product of a complex interplay between past experiences, social conditioning, and innate drives. Recognizing this allows us to approach interactions with a greater sense of empathy and understanding. The thought processes that underpin our actions reveal the inner workings of our minds. Our beliefs, biases, and cognitive patterns influence how we perceive the world and respond to it. By grasping the thought processes at play, we can gain greater control over our responses and foster healthier relationships. Empathy, communication skills, and meaningful connections lie at the heart of harmonious interactions. By fostering empathy, we can forge deeper connections with others and create a more compassionate world. Improving our communication skills enhances our ability to express ourselves authentically and understand others more deeply. Building meaningful connections enriches our lives and nurtures a sense of belonging. As we reflect on the psychology behind human actions, we are presented with an opportunity for self-discovery and growth. By honing our awareness of these intricate dynamics, we empower ourselves to navigate relationships with grace and understanding. May this newfound wisdom guide you in fostering resilience, empathy, and authentic connections in your journey ahead. Chapter 4. The Ethical Application of Dark Psychology. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Martin Luther King, Jr. In the dim glow of the chandelier that offered a warm yet insufficient illumination over the oak-paneled study, James reclined in an armchair as he struggled with his thoughts. The weight of ethical consideration was heavy on his chest, a tangible burden born from recent navigation through society's intricacies, specifically those corridors dimmed by the shadowy nuances of dark psychology. This Saturday evening seemed less of an end to the week and more an uneasy truce with his conscience. Fingers laced and head bowed, he considered a friend's position, a man smitten, who had sought James's counsel on persuasion, not for malice, but to foster a bond with someone seemingly unattainable. Was the import of his advice a manipulation, even if the intention whispered of love? He recalled times when insights into the human psyche had painted his relationships with honest strokes, crafting interactions with genuine care, while nurturing trust. The fragrant aroma of aged books surrounded him, a silent chorus of wisdom from times past, but it was the scent of the pine logs crackling in the fireplace that pulled him back from reverie. Across the room, Evelyn, James's sister, dealt with cards at the study's antique table, her brows furrowing under the flicker of candlelight. She had known too well the bite of deceit and the soothing balm of comfort drawn from a true connection. Her laughter, when she caught his eye, was like a lighthouse's beacon in a tumultuous sea, urging him to focus on the use of his knowledge as a vessel for good, not a weapon yielding to the darker instincts of mankind. Yet the outside world was not confined to such binaries, and the grays danced around him like the shifting shadows of the evening. James knew dark psychology held power, its potency neither inherently righteous nor maleficent. It was the hand that wielded it that inclined the balance. A decision loomed over him, the echoes of past errors whispering caution, as he pondered leveraging his understanding in ways that could mend fences or, however unintended, deepen rifts. As his gaze settled back on the burning logs, the playful firelight cast a dance upon the walls, a melange of darkness and light. The world, with all its moral perplexities, was akin to this interplay of shadows and illumination. Could the wisdom reaped from the darker aspects of the human condition illuminate the path for times when the heart yearned for companionship, not through deceit, but through the clarity of understanding oneself and others? The night pressed on, the clock's hands advancing with their relentless rhythm. Is there truly a place for the insights of dark psychology in shaping a world where authentic connections bloom in the soil of morality? Or shall they always remain at odds, an endless war between light and shadow? The scales of influence, balancing dark psychology for good. Dark psychology, a term shrouded in mystery and misconception, encases powerful insights that, when wielded with care, possess the potential to unlock personal growth and foster resilient mindsets. In our quest to understand these shadowy strands of human behavior, we confront an imperative and often overlooked distinction: the line separating ethical guidance from manipulative coercion. Indeed, knowing where this line lies is crucial, for the tools of dark psychology are much like a double-edged sword, capable of serving both noble purposes and nefarious ends. The essence of ethical application lies in intent and consequence, two guideposts that steer the responsible use of dark psychology towards illuminating pathways rather than darkened alleys. It is not enough to know how to influence and persuade. One must also ask to what ends these powers are employed. As we delve deeper, we discover the transformative potential of these strategies to enrich and protect our relationships, ultimately securing the foundations of mutual trust and respect. Harnessing dark psychology for positive purposes does not equate to shunning its existence or potential for harm. Rather, it involves cultivating an astute awareness of its mechanics, ensuring that such knowledge becomes a shield rather than a weapon. This empowers us to confront deceptive tactics with a fortified mindset, deflecting manipulation and nurturing an atmosphere of genuine connection in its stead. The balancing act demands that we view this facet of human psychology as neither inherently good nor evil. Instead, it requires a nuanced understanding of context, application, and impact. The aim is not to disavow dark psychology, but to recognize and integrate its principles judiciously and compassionately into the fabric of our interactions. In adopting this balanced lens, we open doors to constructive outcomes, where the subtleties of influence serve the greater good and personal boundaries are respected. Reflecting upon the ethical application of dark psychology provokes a deep exploration of our personal values and boundaries. It encourages introspection regarding the ways we choose to communicate and connect with others, imploring us to question the foundational motives driving our actions. This self-examination can be a formidable journey, yet it is through this process that we establish a sense of empowerment, enabling us to apply these insights in ways that reinforce personal integrity and collective well-being. The use of dark psychology in a responsible manner not only safeguards our minds, but also serves as a testament to our inner strength and adaptability. It bears witness to a courageous endeavor to understand the darker aspects of human interaction, transforming them into stepping stones for personal growth and resilience. In charting this territory, we must tread with both caution and curiosity, mindful of the profound impact that these psychological tools can have on the tapestry of human relationships. As such, the ethical application of dark psychology merges with the broader journey of self-discovery and mindfulness. It intertwines with the pursuit of spiritual growth and invites a practice of presence, where every moment is an opportunity to apply our knowledge consciously and constructively. With this mindset, even the most shadowy corners of human psychology can be illuminated, transforming potential pitfalls into opportunities for profound personal transformation. Exploring the fine line. Dark psychology often conjures images of shadowy figures wrangling control of unsuspecting minds. Yet, this understanding fails to grasp the full spectrum of its potential. In essence, dark psychology refers to the understanding of human nature to influence and manipulate behavior. Though it may seem rather ominous, there are indeed ethical ways it can be wielded. Consider the surgeon's scalpel, a tool that, while potentially harmful, serves a greater good in skilled hands. Not every tool of influence is used with malevolent intent. For instance, a psychologist might employ their deep understanding of human behavior to help a patient break free from the grip of phobias. Here the line bends toward ethics. The knowledge that could manipulate is used instead to liberate. The crux lies in the intention and outcome. When dark psychology is harnessed to deceive, exploit, or harm, it veers into the realm of unethical behavior. Conversely, when it is applied with consent for the purpose of aiding or improving human relationships, it aligns with ethical practice. To separate the wheat from the chaff, one must assess the intention behind the action and its consequences. Imagine a chess master who understands the game so well that they can predict their opponent's moves. They might use this talent to win at all costs, or they might use it to teach others, enhancing their appreciation of the game. This is akin to ethical dark psychology at work, leveraging knowledge to foster growth rather than to dominate. Ethical dark psychology utilizes knowledge of human behavior for positive purposes, whereas unethical dark psychology aims to control or deceive. The constructive power of insight. Knowledge becomes a beacon when we leverage insights of human behavior for good. Recognizing patterns and predicting actions are skills that can fuel healthy relationships. Just as a gardener recognizes the signs of a thriving plant, so too can a person attuned to the undercurrents of interaction cultivate strong bonds with others. How might one apply the principles of dark psychology in a positive way? Communication is a dance that can be choreographed with care when we understand our partner's cues. In a relationship, this translates to deeper emotional connectivity and heightened empathy. The insights gleaned from dark psychology can act as a diagnostic tool, helping us identify elements in our relationships that need attention. Take trust, for instance. Trust isn't just given, it's cultivated through consistent supportive interactions. Armed with an understanding of psychological principles, we can better identify when trust is eroding and take steps to mend it. Imagine using this knowledge to create a symphony of support within a relationship. Each gesture and word becomes a note played in understanding, contributing to harmony. Relationships, then, are not left to chance, but are nurtured with intention and wisdom. While there's a risk of crossing ethical boundaries, the conscious choice to use psychological insights beneficially can strengthen the ties that bind us to each other. In this light, dark psychology need not be something to fear, but rather a tool to enhance human connection. Can you recall a time when you used your understanding of human behavior to strengthen a bond or help someone? Balancing the scales. Viewing dark psychology through a balanced lens requires a discerning eye, one that recognizes the duality of its application. Just as fire can cook our food or burn down a house, psychological tactics can engender trust or breed betrayal. The key is to seek constructive outcomes, using our understanding for the well-being of ourselves and others. In the pursuit of balance, it's vital to be aware of personal biases that could color our use of psychological insights. Self-reflection is as necessary as knowledge, ensuring that we're not the ones being inadvertently manipulated by our darker impulses. One could liken dark psychology to a spice in a chef's toolkit. Used sparingly and with care, it can enhance the dish, bringing out flavors in a magnificent way. But when used recklessly, it overwhelms and spoils the meal. As we navigate through life, a balanced approach toward dark psychology can transform it from a specter of manipulation into a beacon of self-awareness. It encourages us to question our motives, foster authentic connections, and act with intent. By integrating the knowledge of how our brains work in the context of manipulation, we arm ourselves against deception while opening up new pathways for personal growth and resilience. We have explored differentiating ethical from unethical uses, considered how to leverage insights positively, and aimed for a balanced view of dark psychology. Tying these together empowers us on a journey toward enhanced awareness, understanding, and relational health. Embracing ethical dark psychology. As we close this chapter on the ethical application of dark psychology, it becomes evident that the power residing in these insights is neither inherently good nor evil. It is the intention behind their use that shapes their ethicality. By differentiating between ethical and unethical applications of dark psychology, we pave the way for a more conscious and deliberate utilization of these tools in our lives. Harnessing the power for positive impact. In leveraging the insights from dark psychology for positive purposes, such as fostering healthy relationships, we embark on a journey of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. By understanding the subtle mechanisms at play, we equip ourselves with the tools to navigate social interactions with authenticity and empathy, fostering connections that are built on trust and mutual respect. Achieving constructive outcomes. Viewing dark psychology through a balanced lens allows us to embrace the complexities of the human psyche while striving for constructive outcomes. By integrating these insights into our lives in a mindful and intentional manner, we open the door to personal growth and resilience in the face of manipulation and deception. Remember, it is not the knowledge itself that defines us, but rather how we choose to wield it in service of our values and ethics. Chapter 5. Exploring diverse perspectives. Beware the person who stirs the pot, for they may have a darker agenda. Oprah Winfrey. The dense canopy of oak and maple shaded the narrow brick pathway that Emily took each morning. Autumn's breath had yellowed the trees, their leaves now audaciously crunching underfoot, sweeping her into a swirl of reflection as brisk as the wind nipping at her cheeks. Thoughts of her sister's recent admission, how she had been manipulated by someone they had both trusted, gnawed at Emily's peace. Emily knew the treachery had roots in psychology, a dance between the mind's hidden moves and the stark reality of actions. She'd read about psychodynamic theories, how unconscious forces shape behavior, and wondered if those patterns had been manipulated, sculpted silently by a masterful hand. She and her sister, two sides of the same coin, differed vastly in how they viewed human motive. She through a lens of cautious analysis, her sibling through trust tinted with hope. As she walked, the scent of wet earth mingled with the bitterness lingering on her tongue, the taste of betrayal that seemed to hover like the morning mist. The local cafe appeared ahead, promising warmth and a brief respite from her internal storm. Sipping her coffee, she pondered cognitive behavioral methods, the chess game of identifying negative thoughts and restructuring them. Could these theories guide her sister out of the labyrinth spun so carefully around her? Every smile exchanged with the barista, the hum of muffled conversations, the clink of porcelain, all seemed louder today, interrupting Emily's contemplation. Her mind oscillated between distress and a fierce desire to empower, to navigate the snare of manipulation and tug her sister back into the light. It was a dance she had not mastered, the equilibrium between understanding and action. Staring out of the foggy cafe window, the world seemed to her a montage of moving parts, people embroiled in their own silent dramas. Did any of them understand the intricate web of their own interpersonal dynamics, she wondered? Or were they like leaves in the wind, merely tumbling through the maze of manipulation and influence blindly? Emily drained her cup, the last drop of warmth doing little to thaw her concerns. With each step back into the open air, she felt the weight of those concerns locking into her chest. It was not a battle of wiles she armed herself for, but a forging of new paths, psychological tools in hand. How could she fortify the minds around her, including her own, in a world that seemed rife with unseen currents set to ensnare the unwary traveler? The mindscape of resilience. The resilience of the mind isn't just about bouncing back from adversity. It's an ongoing process of transformation and adaptation, a steadfast defense against the subtle intrusions of dark psychology. As we dive deeper into the fabric of our psyche, we unravel the nuanced threads of thought and behavior. In this endeavor, we must first grasp the underpinnings of psychodynamic and cognitive behavioral viewpoints. These frameworks don't simply offer explanations, they provide us with the tools to dissect motives, recognize patterns, and rebuild our mental landscapes with reinforced purpose and clarity. Understanding the mechanisms behind manipulation and cognitive processes adds robustness to our mental armory. Enriching our knowledge of these tactics is not an exercise in fear, but an invitation to enhance our awareness. This awareness becomes a beacon, guiding us through the fog of deception and the myriad distractions that can lead us astray from our authentic selves. We are not just passive entities in a world of complex interpersonal dynamics. we are active participants with the power to navigate these waters effectively. As we acquaint ourselves with the darker aspects of psychology, we're not merely bystanders, we become alchemists, capable of transforming these insights into gold. Every interaction and every experience is an opportunity to reinforce the bulwarks of our psyche, turning potential vulnerabilities into strengths. Recognizing the motives of manipulation does more than protect us. It empowers us to engage with others in a way that honors our truth and respects the multiplicity of human experience. Our journey to resilience is a testament to our capacity for growth and adaptation. To move through the world with an unshakable sense of self requires that one embrace a full spectrum of human motivations, both the compassionate and the clandestine. Within these pages, we'll unearth these motivations, grounding our understanding in psychological theory and bolstering our defenses against manipulation. The process of becoming resilient isn't a solitary one, for embedded in this transformation is an understanding that resilience is nourished by the collective wisdom of human experience. It's a venture that necessitates introspection, self-awareness, and a deep dive into the recesses of our mental constructs. By doing so, we establish an enduring foundation that not only sustains us, but also enriches the lives we touch. So let us approach this exploration not with apprehension, but with an open, resilient mind, ready to weave its experiences into a tapestry of personal empowerment. It's here, in the dynamic interplay of shadow and light, that we discover the true essence of our mind's resilience. Exploring psychodynamics and cognitive behavioral theories. When we embark on understanding human psychology, we dive into an ocean of complexities and wonders much like the deep blue sea. At one level, we have psychodynamics, established by the profound works of Sigmund Freud. Psychodynamics is like the undercurrent that shapes the seabed. It suggests that our behaviors and feelings as adults are rooted in our childhood experiences. Freud's theories emphasize the importance of the unconscious mind, internal conflict, and the past's influence on the present. Picture, if you will, the mind as a garden with thoughts as seeds planted in the fertile soil of our subconscious. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, comes in as the gardener, guiding us to weed out unwanted plants and nurture the beneficial ones. Where psychodynamics looks beneath the soil to understand why certain seeds were planted, CBT focuses on the here and now. It concentrates on current problems and employs practical ways to change thinking patterns and behaviors that are causing difficulties. Just as a tree is shaped by both the nutrients running through its roots and the gardener's hand, human psychology is also molded by unseen forces from our formative years and our current mental processes. It's a collaborative dance between past influences and present mental habits. Understanding this interplay is crucial for anyone looking to anchor themselves against the strong currents of manipulation and deception. While both theories differ in approach, they share a common goal: to provide insight into the human condition. Delving deep into psychodynamics gives us the why behind behavior, while CBT's methods give us the how to make changes. This multi-layered understanding is instrumental in constructing a resilient mind. The key point is to appreciate the balance between our past's hidden influences and our current thought patterns in shaping behavior. Deconstructing manipulation tactics within the cognitive realm. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a fortress. Over time, you've carefully built its walls to protect against external influences. However, even the strongest bastions can be subtly infiltrated. Manipulation tactics are the cunning invaders that seek out the weak spots and silently breach defenses. By enriching our understanding of these tactics, we teach our mental guards to be more vigilant and discerning. Manipulators often exploit cognitive biases, systematic errors in thinking that affect our decisions and judgments, akin to the way a computer malware takes advantage of system vulnerabilities. These can include appeals to emotion, such as fear or sympathy, or tactics like gaslighting, where the manipulator tries to sow seeds of doubt in someone's reality. Recognizing these mental manipulations is the first step in fortifying our psychological defenses. Within the context of our cognitive fortress, we're not just passive inhabitants, but also active defenders. Cognitive processes involve perception, memory, judgment, and reasoning, all of which play a pivotal role in how we interpret and respond to the world around us. When we sharpen these processes through awareness and critical thinking, we enhance our mental security systems, making us less susceptible to being influenced by deceitful techniques. But what if our metaphorical fortress has already been breached without our knowledge? That's where mental resilience steps in, not just rebuilding our defenses, but also ensuring that we're better prepared for future incursions. It means not only being aware of manipulation tactics, but also understanding our cognitive processes to a point where we can intuitively neutralize these tactics. Our resilience is fortified by understanding the mechanisms of manipulation and the cognitive processes they target. Empowering interpersonal dynamics. In the tapestry of human interaction, every thread is a potential link to another's life, a relationship, a conversation, or a fleeting exchange. To navigate these connections effectively, it is critical to understand not only our own thoughts and emotions, but also to read the subtle cues and underlying motives in others. This awareness is the lens through which we view the patterns in the weave of our social interactions. Empowerment in interpersonal dynamics starts with self-awareness, recognizing one's own emotions, triggers, and boundaries. It is akin to being the captain of your ship, navigating tumultuous social seas with knowledge and skill. As captain, you're able to steer through others' manipulative tactics like sudden squalls without losing course. Does it not ring true that the smoothest conversations, the deepest rapport, and the most effective negotiations are often the fruits of not only understanding others, but also remaining true to ourselves? It's akin to the delicate balance one maintains while walking a tightrope. Leaning too much on either side could result in a fall into misunderstanding or conflict. Bringing these threads together, let us weave a fabric of resilience that is both tough and flexible, drawn from the threads of psychodynamic insights, cognitive frameworks, and interpersonal skills. This fabric protects and suits us in the intricate dance of human relationships. By integrating our knowledge of psychology's depths with strategies for mental fortitude, and by mastering the art of social navigation, we empower ourselves to weave through life's complex interpersonal dynamics. Reflection and integration. Have you ever considered how your understanding of your personal history, combined with your current thought patterns, plays a role in your interactions with others? And how does recognizing manipulation increase your ability to maintain authentic relationships? These contemplations are not merely intellectual exercises, they're the seeds for growth and resilience. Embrace the insights from psychodynamics, cognitive behavioral principles, and the intricacies of interpersonal dynamics as a unified framework for personal development. Together, they provide the means to craft a mind that is not only resilient in the face of dark psychology, but thrives in its light, nurturing authenticity and connection. The resilience of the mind blossoms from the synthesis of deep psychological understanding, mental sharpness in recognizing manipulation, and the empowerment that comes with adept social navigation. Embracing evolution and empowerment. As we draw to the end of this chapter, it becomes evident that delving into psychodynamic and cognitive behavioral perspectives opens a gateway to understanding the intricate workings of the human mind. By enriching our awareness of manipulation tactics and cognitive processes, we equip ourselves with the tools necessary to navigate the complex web of interpersonal dynamics. Empowerment lies in knowledge, and the exploration of diverse viewpoints has illuminated the paths through which we can foster resilience and safeguard our minds against the insidious forces of deception and manipulation. Cultivating resilience through awareness. Through the lens of psychodynamic and cognitive behavioral theories, we have unearthed profound insights into the depths of human behavior and cognition. Awareness serves as the compass guiding us through the intricate maze of interpersonal relationships, allowing us to decipher hidden motives and cultivate a resilient mindset. By embracing a deeper understanding of ourselves and others, we fortify our emotional boundaries and preserve our mental well-being amidst the turbulent currents of manipulation and deceit. Harnessing inner strength for growth. Ultimately, the journey of exploring diverse perspectives is not merely an academic exercise, but a transformative experience that empowers us to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. By honing our awareness of psychological dynamics and manipulation tactics, we cultivate the resilience necessary to thrive in the face of adversity. As we continue on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, let us embrace the evolution of our minds and spirits, forging a future illuminated by the light of knowledge and inner strength. Chapter 6. Critical Thinking and Emotional Intelligence. The art of manipulation is to make others think it was their idea. Napoleon Bonaparte. Jonathan's palms felt slick against the mahogany table, a telltale sign of the nerves that snaked through his veins like ivy. As he sat in the crowded conference room, the clink of coffee mugs and muted conversations buzzed like a distant swarm of bees. Today's decision would set the precedent for his company's ethical stance. Two paths lay before him, economic gain or moral integrity, and never did they seem so divergent. He remembered the crisp autumn air biting at his cheeks, how he and his mentor walked through the park, discussing the quintessence of leadership. "It's not about the choices that herald applause," his mentor had said, wearing a tapestry of wrinkles that knew too much of the world. "It's about the ones that sing in your conscience during the lonesome nights." Jonathan had listened, absorbing every word, but standing at the crossroads now, he found the tune of conscience difficult to hear over the din of opportunity's siren call. The murmuring in the meeting room was like the ebb and flow of waves against the shore, constant and indifferent to the turmoil raging within him. "Can I stand against the tide?" he pondered, recalling times his emotional intelligence had bridged divides. He had nurtured teams fractured by distrust, weaving them into tapestries of shared success. These skills now seemed as distant as the faint aroma of his morning coffee, now long gone cold. A sudden draft from the air conditioning snapped him back. Jonathan noticed the expectant eyes that flickered in his direction, awaiting the words that would reveal their course. He drew a breath that tasted of dusty paper and resolve. Today he would teach them about resilience and assertiveness, fortify them not just for the market's relentless battles, but for the silent wars waged within the chambers of their hearts. As the discourse ensued, Jonathan steered it with the subtlety of a seasoned mariner. He spoke not from a perch of superiority, but from a trench of camaraderie, true to the vestiges of vulnerability. He understood, perhaps for the first time, that it was not the weight of decision that would define him, but the strength of his resolve to carry it. Can one man's choice echo through the annals of a company's history, or does it dissolve, a whisper lost in the cacophony of progress and profit? Sharpen your mind, shield your emotions. In an era where the human mind is akin to a battlefield, maintaining a fortress of critical thought and emotional intelligence is imperative. The sophisticated weave of social interactions and information overload demands a vigilant approach to discerning truth from deception. Yet amid this complex interplay, the ability for personal growth and resilience thrives. As we embark on this journey, it's critical to remember that the mind's resilience can be nurtured through deliberate practice and awareness. Critical thinking is not just an academic term. It's a survival skill in a world where facts can be obscured by dark psychology tactics. Cultivating such thinking involves an unwavering dedication to questioning the status quo, challenging assumptions, and seeking compelling evidence before drawing conclusions. It is the first step toward autonomy over one's thoughts and actions. This liberation of the mind is a precursor to informed decision-making, enabling individuals to cut through manipulation and harness the truth for personal advancement. Moving in tandem with the sharpening of the intellect is the cultivation of emotional intelligence. This dimension of intelligence operates on the emotional plane, influencing how we manage relationships, navigate social complexities, and make personal decisions that achieve positive results. Enhancing emotional intelligence is foundational, not only for thriving in interpersonal dynamics, but also for building a bulwark against emotional manipulation. It acts as a signal booster for empathy, a trait which at its core allows one to connect deeply with others while staying true to oneself. When critical thinking and emotional intelligence converge, an individual is well equipped to identify and resist the covert manipulations of dark psychology. The capacity to remain assertive and adhere to ethical decision-making in spite of external pressures becomes personalized armor. Resilience blossoms not as a mere defense mechanism, but as a proactive force, one that transforms adversity into growth, challenges into opportunities, and manipulation into a catalyst for empowerment. Step into the light, detecting the shadows of manipulation. Step 1. Recognizing patterns. Initiating the journey to awareness is synonymous with pattern recognition. The constant parade of guilt-tripping, gaslighting, and other emotional manipulations often follow a discernible thread. Noticing these behavioral patterns is the first alarm bell, urging you to question the reality presented to you and trust the dissonance you might feel. Step 2. Educate yourself. Armed with awareness, the next step is education. Dive into the world of dark psychology with an investigative spirit. Books, podcasts, and workshops can transform your understanding, allowing you to anticipate and counteract the love bombs and negging that aim to erode your self-assurance. Step 3. Self-reflection. Reflection is the mirror through which one peers into the soul. By questioning what shapes your beliefs and responses, you unearth vulnerabilities that dark psychology preys upon. It's about personal inventory, identifying values, boundaries, insecurities, and triggers. This newfound self-knowledge acts as a compass in the face of manipulation, directing you towards your true north. Step 4. Seek support. You don't have to walk this path alone. A network of reliable allies whose perspectives and guidance you value can serve as a sounding board for your experiences. Their insights can help you distinguish between genuine interaction and manipulative tactics, reinforcing trust in your own intuition. Step 5. Practice critical thinking. Cultivate critical thinking as a habit, not just a fleeting exercise. Evaluating situations, sources, and multiple perspectives with a clear, unbiased mind is your antidote to manipulation. It demands a disciplined yet open mind, one that fully digests information before internalizing it. Step 6. Trust your instincts. Amidst all the rational analysis, don't forget the instinctual wisdom you harbor. Embracing this intuition often leads to the truth lying beneath the surface of polished deceit. When something feels off, your instincts are sending you a message. Decipher it, act on it, and confer with those you trust. Allow time for each step in this process, and assess your growth regularly. Success here is measured by a fortified mind, one that stands as a beacon of self-awareness, resistant to the darkening shades cast by manipulation. This is not a linear journey, but a spiral ascent to empowerment, where the view sharpens with every turn. Assessing information critically, the sage and the scam. Every day, our minds are peppered with information. From spontaneous rumblings on social media to meticulously crafted news articles, each piece clamors for our attention and acceptance. To navigate this relentless torrent, we must learn to assess information critically. Imagine a sage who quietly sifts through grains of sand in search of gold, examining each glint for its veracity. Similarly, we must scrutinize the details before considering them nuggets of truth. Critical assessment means not only reading between the lines, but also recognizing when there are no lines at all. It requires us to evaluate the credibility of sources, the strength of argumentation, and even the biases possibly coloring our own lenses. Much like a gardener wary of weeds, we need to root out misinformation and cultivate a landscape of knowledge that is resilient and true to reality. Metaphorically, decision-making is akin to selecting ingredients for a recipe. Just as poor quality or incorrect ingredients can spoil a dish, Basing decisions on faulty or misleading information can lead to undesirable outcomes. Training our minds to look for freshness, fresh perspectives, fresh data, equips us with sharper senses in detecting the stale or spoil. When we apply critical thinking, it is as if we activate a mental filtration system, sieving the substantial from the superficial. It's a commitment to valuing substance over sensationalism, fostering an environment where informed decisions blossom. Through this process, we evolve from passive recipients of information to active participants in shaping our narratives and choices. The key point: becoming skilled at critical thinking enables us to make informed decisions, grounded in reality and shaped by well-examined judgment. Navigating emotional currents, a compass for the mind. Emotional intelligence is our internal compass. It guides us through the intricate web of human interactions. Recognizing, understanding, and managing our emotions, as well as deciphering those of others, can transform the way we communicate, build relationships, and resolve conflicts. As we tune into this frequency, we discover that emotional acuity often speaks louder than intellectual ability. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. Emotions are complex. They can erupt unexpectedly like a storm on a seemingly clear day. It's essential to acknowledge that our feelings can cloud our decisions, for better or for worse. A clever compass, developing awareness of manipulation techniques. Recognizing patterns. The voyage of strengthening our emotional intelligence begins with pattern recognition. Observe how a magician expertly misdirects an audience's attention to perform a sleight of hand. In a similar vein, manipulators may employ distraction tactics. Guilt-tripping, gaslighting, and playing emotional hot potato are classic misdirections in interpersonal dynamics. Pay attention to repetitive actions that encourage self-doubt or a skewing of your emotional compass. Time frame: 1 week for initial recognition. Educate yourself. Next, embark on an educational expedition. Dive into the literature on dark psychology tactics like love bombing and negging, which seek to destabilize and then captivate. Think of it as building an immunity. Exposure to the strategies empowers you to recognize and resist them. Time frame: 1 month for foundational learning. Self-reflection. On your journey, cast an anchor in the tranquil waters of self-reflection. Reflect upon your values, boundaries, and insecurities, as they often become the battlefield for manipulative encounters. The more intimately you know your psychological landscape, the less likely it is for invaders to encroach unnoticed. Time frame: continuous with dedicated sessions weekly. Seek support. It's crucial to have fellow navigators. Surround yourself with a network akin to a constellation, bright and reliable guides through dark skies. Whether seeking insight or validation, these trusted stars provide a frame of reference when you're lost among manipulation's nebulas. Time frame: develop over several months. Practice critical thinking. Sharpen your sword of critical thinking. Evaluating information and claims with a disciplinarian's eye is akin to training your emotional muscles to resist deceptive guiles and quicksand arguments. Time frame: continuous with progress checks monthly. Trust your instincts. Trust in your internal compass when alarms sound. Sometimes, the subtle stirrings of discomfort or intuition are the only indications that something is amiss, like the faint rustle of leaves presaging a storm. Time frame: immediate and ongoing. How might following these steps change your relationships and enhance your mental fortitude? Weaving the fabric of resilience. Developing resilience, assertiveness, and ethical decision-making requires patience, much like weaving a strong fabric from delicate threads. Each experience, each challenge we face, is a thread contributing to the whole. This fabric shields us from the intrusive forces of manipulation, supporting us in standing up for ourselves and making decisions that align with our moral compass. Resilience is our bounce-back mechanism, the tenacity that springs us back to form after being stretched by life's adversities. In the face of manipulation, Resilience is the unspoken assertiveness that renders us impermeable to the tactics of dark psychology. To be assertive is to possess the clarity and calm of a lake at dawn, unfaltering in expressing our needs and maintaining our boundaries. It's not in loudness, but in the firm consistency of our actions. Much like the roots of age-old trees, our assertiveness grounds us, allowing us to stand tall in our values even when forceful winds of influence blow. In the realm of ethical choices, decision-making resembles navigating a labyrinth. With each turn we take, our ethical compass guides us, ensuring we emerge from the maze with integrity intact. It's about scanning the horizon for moral landmarks that can guide our journey, helping us choose paths that lead to honor and dignity. The path to resilience, assertiveness, and ethical decision-making is forged, one courageous step at a time. It's an interwoven tapestry of experiences and reflections that make us invulnerable to the snares of manipulation. In the realm of critical thinking and emotional intelligence, the journey is not about reaching a final destination, but about embracing the continuous evolution of your mind and heart. Each decision made, each interaction navigated, and each challenge overcome contributes to your growth and understanding of the world around you. By learning to discern information critically, you equip yourself with a shield against manipulation and deception. This shield is not meant to isolate you from differing perspectives, but rather to empower you to engage with them thoughtfully and rationally. Enhancing your emotional intelligence is like sharpening a blade. It allows you to cut through misunderstandings and cultivate deeper connections with others. It is the bridge that spans the gap between differing emotions, fostering empathy and establishing trust. Developing resilience, assertiveness, and ethical decision-making capabilities forms the foundation upon which your character is built. It is the furnace that tempers your soul, enabling you to stand firm in your beliefs while remaining open to growth and adaptation. Embrace the interplay of logic and emotion. The fusion of critical thinking and emotional intelligence is not a dichotomy, but a harmonious union. Where logic provides the framework for rational decision-making, emotion colors our experiences and fuels our passions. Finding the balance between these two faculties is not a quest for equilibrium, but a dance of self-discovery. It is in this dance that we unearth the depths of our convictions, unravel the intricacies of our relationships, and forge the path towards a more enlightened existence. Start by questioning your assumptions, challenging your biases, and expanding your emotional vocabulary. It is in these moments of introspection that the seeds of transformation are sown, and the roots of resilience grow deeper. Cultivate the seeds of growth. Every setback is an opportunity for learning, every conflict a chance for understanding, and every decision a step towards self-improvement. Embrace the discomfort of uncertainty, for it is in the crucible of doubt that your convictions are tested and your beliefs refined. Nurture a spirit of curiosity that seeks to explore the unknown, a heart of compassion that resonates with the joys and sorrows of others, and a mind of clarity that cuts through the fog of confusion. The journey toward self-mastery is not devoid of challenges, but it is in the face of adversity that your true strength is revealed. Embrace the process of growth with an open heart and a resilient spirit, knowing that each step forward brings you closer to the best version of yourself. Chapter 7. Cultivating Mental Resilience. The mind is a powerful weapon. Use it wisely, or it may be used against you. Albert Einstein. In the pale glow of the morning, Lydia stood by the window, her slender form cast in soft light as the sun peered over the monotone cityscape. The lingering cold of night still clutched at the world, and the mist clung like a shroud over sleeping buildings. Her heart, a quiet drumbeat in her chest, was the only sound in a room filled with silence, that delicate hour where solitude was both a balm and a curse. She had built walls, mental and emotional, to guard herself against the discomforting truths that lay in the wake of her past relationship. Revelations about the manipulation she'd endured clawed at her insides, like icy fingers poking at a wound. Touching the wide leaf of a plant beside her, she sought the comfort of connection, the simple solace in life that continued irrespective of human woes. The plant's vitality was a silent mentor, urging her to grow beyond the confines of the past, to synthesize her pain into strength much as it turned light into life. Yet the process was not without its pains. Lydia nursed her emotional well-being, treating it with the kindness one might afford a wilting flower. She poured her energy into her art, those swaths of color that made sense of the chaos within her. The bristles of the brush against canvas, the scent of oil paints, a litany of small sensory experiences, were her anchors in the tempest of recovery. There were days like this, when the echoes of manipulation turned her sanctuary of solitude into a prison of doubt, but each stroke was a declaration, defying the shadows to define her. Summoning a deep breath, Lydia resolved to practice that which she preached, self-care as an act of rebellion, a confirmation of her worth. The city began to stir, with distant sounds of awakening, cars a soft murmur, the faint rustle of life emerging from slumber. Each sound was a reminder of the world's persistence, and like the world, she too carried on, cultivated resilience, watered it with tears, and bore flowers where there had been only barren soil. What allies would time and self-reflection reveal in Lydia's quest? Would her art transform from shield to beacon, guiding her through the darkness with its prismatic promise of new beginnings? Each layer of paint was, after all, another day's armor, another piece of proof that growth was perennial. Would her story too be one of endless becoming, a testament to the beauty in healing's obstinate continuity? Fortifying your mind against invisible threats. The mirages of manipulation and psychological intimidation often cloud the corridors of our daily interactions, and it is crucial to shield the psyche from such incursions. Recognizing this, we stand on the brink of a vital exploration into not just surviving, but thriving amid adversities that test our mental fabric. The path to enduring mental resilience is paved with insight, vigilance, and self-care, leading us to the tools we need to navigate through treacherous psychological waters. To build a growth mindset in the face of discomfort requires acknowledging that both the beauty and brutality of our experiences shape who we are. Here, we must relinquish the safety of old beliefs for the acquisition of a perspective that embraces challenges as catalysts for growth. This is about cultivating a tenacity that allows us to confront uncomfortable truths head-on, armed with the agility to adapt and learn from every situation. Self-care is often misconstrued as a luxury, but in actuality, it is a fundamental aspect of sustaining one's emotional well-being. It demands our attention not as a reactionary measure, but as a regular practice that insulates our inner calm from external chaos. Carving out time for personal replenishment is not indulgence, but rather a critical investment in our own stability and strength. Within these pages, we journey into the realm of developing coping strategies as personalized armaments against manipulation. The finesse lies in recognizing the veiled barbs of emotional and mental control and diffusing them with serene confidence. Your arsenal is bespoke, tailored to safeguard your individuality against the homogenizing pressures of deceit. As you embrace these strategies, understand that they merge seamlessly with a life lived in the full presence of each moment, echoing the thoughts of Eckhart Tolle and Paulo Coelho. This is not merely about reading insights, but incorporating them into the essence of your being. The practice of mindfulness and maintaining a spiritual balance is integral to this transformation, where resilience becomes as natural as breathing. Your personal stories of overcoming and enduring will interlace with the wisdom distilled through time. These narratives are not merely to illustrate principles, but to acknowledge that deep within the collective fabric of our journeys lay revelations that can enlighten and guide others. Sharing these anecdotes fosters a sense of community and demonstrates that while our battles are unique, the war against psychological subterfuge is a shared human endeavor. Every step towards resilience is a stride towards self-empowerment, an act of asserting your essence against the tides seeking to erode it. The methods laid out here are not prescriptions, but invitations to engage with life's complexities in a manner that prioritizes your psychological integrity. Hold these truths close to heart, for they are keys to not just surviving the darkness, but thriving in the light of your own unassailable strength. Build a growth mindset. The mind, like fertile soil, can sprout an abundance of crops or be overridden by weeds, depending on what we choose to cultivate within it. A growth mindset is akin to carefully selecting seeds of resilience and nurturing them to withstand the storms of life. It's about embracing that our abilities and understanding can develop with time and effort. Those with a growth mindset don't shy away from challenges. They recognize discomfort as the growing pains of personal development. Imagine standing at the edge of a dense forest, one that represents the uncomfortable truths of our lives. With a fixed mindset, the forest appears impenetrable, dark, and foreboding. Switch to a growth mindset, and it becomes a challenge with paths to be carved and navigated. It's not about denying the existence of the forest, but acknowledging that with the right tools and attitude, you can make your way through it. Often, facts about ourselves and our beliefs can be unsettling. Owning truths such as, "I have been manipulated before," or "I am vulnerable to deception," is not a sign of weakness, but a crucial step in mental fortitude. Recognizing these truths without self-judgment opens the door to learning and shields against further manipulation. The analogy is simple. Just as a tree's roots stretch deeper in search of water to survive a drought, a person's mental roots must dig into self-awareness to draw strength. By choosing to face difficult truths, you are watering your psychological landscape with resilience. Growth is not measured in the absence of troubles, but in our reactions and adaptations to them. In fostering a growth mindset, we equip ourselves to navigate uncomfortable truths and cultivate mental resilience. Practicing self-care. Self-care is the bedrock of emotional well-being. It's a multifaceted practice that includes physical, mental, and emotional health. It's not an indulgence, but a necessity for a resilient mind. When we take care of ourselves, we build a foundation from which we can face life's adversities with strength and clarity. Just as you cannot pour from an empty cup, you cannot face manipulation and deceit without first ensuring your own well-being. Incorporating self-care routines can seem like a luxury in our busy lives. However, just as a gardener dedicates time to prune and water his plants, we must dedicate time to nurture ourselves. These routines can be simple: a short walk, a healthy meal, or a moment of meditation. They compound over time, betokening a fortress of serenity within the tumult of daily life. We often hear the term self-care, but the reality is it's usually whispered, relegated to the background of our priorities. Yet imagine self-care as an unwavering flame within a lantern. In darkness and storm, this flame is your guide, your warmth, and your assurance that dawn is approaching. Without it, shadows grow long and paths become obscure. Self-care is not just about the body, but the mind as well. The act of setting boundaries, saying no, and prioritizing your needs can be seen as the mental equivalent of taking vitamins. These actions bolster your internal defenses, preparing you to deal with stress and manipulative tactics that may otherwise drain your energy and cloud your judgment. Indulging in self-care is not selfish, it is one of the most selfless acts. By ensuring your holistic well-being, you're better equipped to support those around you. Just as a lighthouse stands firm, guiding ships safely to harbor, a well-cared-for individual shines stability and support onto others. How might committing to self-care transform not just your own emotional resilience, but also the strength you lend to others? Developing coping strategies. When it comes to withstanding manipulative influences, developing coping strategies is akin to learning self-defense. Instead of physical confrontations, you're preparing for psychological ones. The sly suggestion that undermines your confidence, the guilt trip that seeks to control your actions, or the gaslighting that makes you question your reality. Well-crafted coping strategies are your mental martial arts. To begin, one must identify personal triggers, those sensitive topics or emotions that manipulators often exploit. Knowledge is power. By knowing your vulnerabilities, you can reinforce these areas. Just as a captain learns to navigate around treacherous waters, awareness of your triggers allows you to steer clear of manipulation. One effective coping strategy is to develop a strong support network, friends, family, or even a professional who can offer perspective and validation when you feel disoriented by manipulative tactics. Imagine these supportive relationships as anchors during a storm. They provide something solid to hold on to, maintaining your orientation when the waves of confusion and deception try to sweep you away. In parallel to seeking external support, internal dialogue is crucial. Practice affirmations and positive self-talk to maintain your self-esteem in the face of manipulation. It's like conversing with your reflection in a calm pool, reminding yourself of your value, your truths, and your worth, even when someone seeks to muddy those waters. Integrating mindfulness techniques can also help. By bringing your attention to the present and observing your thoughts without judgment, you can maintain an inner equanimity. Consider mindfulness the art of staying afloat in a sea of distractions, keeping your head above the swell of manipulative influence. These coping strategies work best in concert, each a thread woven into the fabric of mental resilience. By building a growth mindset, practicing self-care, and developing effective coping strategies, you safeguard your mind against dark psychology. Embracing growth and resilience. Building a growth mindset allows us to approach uncomfortable truths with a sense of curiosity and adaptability. It's not about denying hardships or challenges, but rather about seeing them as opportunities for learning and growth. By acknowledging our vulnerabilities and embracing them as part of the human experience, we become more resilient in the face of adversity. Nurturing your emotional well-being. Self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity for maintaining emotional well-being. It involves setting boundaries, prioritizing your needs, and seeking support when necessary. When we take care of ourselves, we are better equipped to handle the emotional roller coaster that life often presents. Fortifying against manipulation. Coping strategies are the armor that shields us from the deceptive influences of the world. By developing a keen awareness of manipulative tactics and learning to assert our boundaries, we can navigate relationships and situations with clarity and strength. Remember, it's not about building walls, but about cultivating a fortress of self-awareness and empowerment. Through the journey of cultivating mental resilience, we discover the power within us to face challenges with courage and grace. It's a process of continuous growth, where every setback is an opportunity for self-discovery and every moment of triumph a testament to our inner strength. As you tread the path towards a resilient mind, remember that vulnerability is not weakness, but a gateway to profound transformation. It's in the depths of our struggles that we unveil the true essence of our resilience and unveil the boundless potential that resides within each of us. Embrace the journey, embrace the growth, and above all, embrace the resilient spirit that thrives within you. Chapter 8. Setting boundaries for protection. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. Oscar Wilde. The coffee shop buzzed with the humdrum of fragmented conversations, the clatter of ceramic on wood, echoes of laughter, and the low murmur of an old jazz track, padding the background like soft rain on pavement. Sarah sat alone at a corner table, a porcelain cup of cappuccino cradled between her hands. The steam from the cup veiled her face as she gazed through the window, the world outside smeared into watercolor by the rain. Today the room felt smaller, the walls closer. She found herself amidst a mental arm wrestle with her thoughts. Just the night before, Sean, a friend, had overstepped a boundary as old as their friendship. His insistence on managing her finances, despite her refusals, replayed in her mind like a discordant note. It wasn't about the money. It was about respect, the suffocating feeling of autonomy slipping through her fingers. Her reflections were interrupted by the warm touch of sunlight breaking through the clouds, casting a golden glow into the coffee shop, silently transforming the mundane into magic. For a moment, Sarah allowed herself to bask in the simple pleasure, the comfort of warmth on her skin. Like the sun itself, she longed to shine through the overcast doubts clouding her confidence. Sean's behavior wasn't new, she pondered. It was reminiscent of the time he had talked her out of taking that job offer at the coast. She recalled the bitter taste of regret when she later realized the opportunity she had forsaken. She bit her lip and thought, "It's time to assert my needs." Acknowledging this echoed within her, a quiet but firm resolve. How often had she recoiled in the face of Sean's subtle manipulations? His mastery at shaping narratives that cast him as the caring aide, and her as the one perpetually in need of guidance. Not today. Today, her integrity bristled, a silent guardian of her values. Like the oak tree outside, standing resolute against the storm, her spine straightened, the decision was made. She would not waver in the gales of manipulation. Sarah was her own captain, and her ship would sail to shores of her choosing. And so, as she prepared to leave the haven of the coffee shop, the natural theater of introspection and decision, she wondered, what strength would it take to uphold this newfound boundary when the time came? How would the tempests of persuasion be weathered, and at what cost to her inner peace or the pain of strained friendships? Would she grasp the courage tightly and not let go, as the winds of challenge threatened to snatch it from her grasp? Forge your mental shield. In an age where psychological warfare is no longer confined to the realm of spies and soldiers, understanding how to erect firm boundaries is paramount. Forging a mental shield against dark psychology involves recognizing one's own worth and the necessity of protecting it. Navigating through life without a sense of where we end and others begin can lead to an erosion of autonomy, making us susceptible to manipulation by those with ill intent. To combat this, one must learn to establish clear boundaries that serve as bulwarks, safeguarding self-respect and relationships alike. It is the assertion of one's needs and values that serves as the bedrock for these defenses. To do so assertively is to communicate one's non-negotiable aspects of being without aggression or passivity. Assertiveness is not a call to conflict, but an honest declaration of personal stances. It is the steady voice in a room of chaos that says, "This is who I am and what I will not tolerate." In grasping the ways in which to affirm oneself, one stands tall in the face of manipulative tactics that would otherwise undercut one's agency. Moreover, the preservation of one's personal integrity is indispensable. Integrity acts as the compass that guides through landscapes marred by deception and subterfuge by those who wield dark psychology like a blade. Cultivating the skill to uphold integrity, especially when under psychological siege, is an art that could mean the difference between being coerced into actions misaligned with one's character and living in congruence with who one truly is. Reflection upon personal values is not an indulgence, but a necessity in this journey. As we journey inward to understand what truly matters to us, our beliefs and principles crystallize into a formidable core that no amount of external pressure can shatter. It is in moments of self-reflection that we steel ourselves against the creeping influences of manipulation, recognizing that our mental and emotional autonomy is our right and privilege. Indeed, the resilient mind is one that appreciates the facets of personal growth that come from knowing when and how to erect these barriers. When faced with the subtle intrusions of dark psychology, be it in personal relationships, the workplace, or social environments, the strategies for boundary setting become invaluable. The process is akin to nurturing a garden. One must tend to it regularly, remove invasive weeds with precision, and ensure it is fortified against external threats. Learning to navigate the intricacies of social interactions with awareness and foresight is a skill none can afford to forego. It opens one's eyes to the motives of others, encouraging a form of interaction that is both mindful and intentional. And as one fortifies their mental perimeters, they will discover the profound peace that comes with an unassailable sense of self. The art of assertive living. In practicing the art of assertive living, one actively crafts a reality where disingenuous coercion finds no purchase. The strategies delineated in this discussion are not merely defensive tactics, they are proactive steps towards a more genuine existence, one that rejects the faux pas of social conformity when it conflicts with one's authentic self. It calls for courage and consistency, for the conviction of one's beliefs may be put to the test when pressures mount and manipulators ply their craft. Embracing these principles is a transformative experience that speaks to the very essence of what it means to be human. It is the dance of balance between yielding to the harmonious needs of the community and upholding the indomitable spirit of individualism. It is here, within this delicate equilibrium, that the resilient mind thrives, emerging not only unscathed in the wake of dark psychology, but furthermore enriched and empowered. Establish clear boundaries to protect autonomy and relationships. Every individual possesses an invisible perimeter, one that defines personal space and comfort zones. These boundaries are necessary, for they serve as protective barriers, guarding one's sense of self and well-being. Establishing clear boundaries is akin to erecting a fence around a private garden. It demarcates what is one's own, keeps the harmful out, and nurtures the growth within. Imagine yourself in a garden. Your thoughts, feelings, and principles are like delicate flowers and plants thriving inside it. Boundaries act as the garden fence. They are essential in determining how close someone can get to you, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Without these fences, anyone could trample your garden, and your flowers, your personal values, could wilt under unwanted attention or disrespect. Too often, individuals struggle with setting clear boundaries, either fearing conflict or wanting to please others. Yet such hesitation may invite a myriad of problems, from strained relationships to a lost sense of autonomy. Healthy boundaries stem from understanding your limits and conveying them to others, confidently and respectfully. Asserting boundaries is not an act of separation, but one of self-preservation and mutual respect. It is a communication of your needs and expectations to others, setting the stage for supportive and authentic relationships. In doing so, you maintain your personal integrity and foster an environment where respect is reciprocal. When articulated clearly and upheld consistently, boundaries become the framework within which relationships thrive. They encourage not only your growth, but also respect for the autonomy of others. Boundaries are not just fences, they are the guidelines by which cooperative and enriching relationships are built. In essence, clear boundaries are the guardians of autonomy and healthy relationships. Assert personal needs and values assertively. To live in alignment with one's beliefs and values requires more than just recognition. It necessitates assertiveness, the ability to voice personal needs and values confidently without giving in to external pressures. Assertiveness is not aggression. It is the balanced expression of one's rights and desires while respecting those of others. Asserting oneself might feel like standing on a stage under a spotlight. On this stage, you reveal your authentic self, speaking your lines with conviction, not aggression, trusting that your voice deserves to be heard just as much as any others in the theater of life. It is recognizing that you are the author of your lines, and that your script is as important as anyone else's. Possessing a clear understanding of personal needs and values serves as a compass, guiding one through the complexities of social interactions. When these needs and values are expressed assertively, they act as a declaration of self-worth and personal responsibility. Assertiveness paves the way for open, honest, and more meaningful connections with others. Rhetorically speaking, to assert is to exist. To exist fully, one must assert. To resist the currents of conformity and maintain one's course in the river of social existence, a firm paddle in the water of assertiveness is essential. Doing so is not merely about standing one's ground. It is about navigating life's waters with authentic purpose. It is a truism that habits of assertiveness need to be fostered and cared for, just as a gardener tends their garden. Start small. Communicate your preferences in daily situations, like choosing a restaurant with friends or deciding on a movie. Graduated steps build the muscles of assertiveness, enabling you to stand firm when more significant issues arise. How can you recognize the value in expressing yourself assertively, so that your personal narrative is neither silenced nor overshadowed? Uphold personal integrity in the face of manipulation tactics. In the quest to maintain personal integrity, The mind must be resilient to the invasive roots of manipulation. Manipulators, akin to weeds, threaten to entangle and distort the truth of who you are and what you stand for. Personal integrity is the rich soil in which your authentic self grows. It must be protected vigorously. To uphold this integrity, one must understand the landscape of manipulation tactics, from guilt-tripping to gaslighting, and know how to counteract them. These tactics can twist perceptions and create self-doubt. Guarding against them involves first recognizing their presence and then asserting your reality with conviction. Educating oneself about the various forms of manipulation is like learning the warning signs of a storm. Foreknowledge provides the necessary shelter for the mind, offering refuge from the tempests of deceit. When you fathom the mechanics of manipulation, you render these tactics ineffective, safeguarding your personal integrity. Perhaps the most insidious aspect of manipulation is that it can make the truth seem like a distant concept. It is essential to foster a strong sense of self, constructed on the foundation of personal values and experiences. Having a firm grasp on reality allows you to repel the invasive tendrils of falsehood and maintain the health of your psychological garden. Incorporating regular self-reflective practices can also fortify integrity. Just as one might prune a garden to encourage healthy growth, reflection helps to trim away the doubts and insecurities that manipulation can implant. Thus strengthened, you can stand tall against the winds of manipulation, rooted firmly in your sense of self. By establishing boundaries, asserting personal needs and values, and upholding personal integrity, you craft a fortress of resilience, impenetrable to the tactics of dark psychology. As we conclude this chapter on setting boundaries for protection, remember that boundaries are not walls to isolate you, but rather fences that define your personal space. By establishing clear boundaries, you safeguard your autonomy and nurture healthy relationships based on respect. Asserting your personal needs and values assertively is a powerful expression of self-worth and authenticity. Upholding personal integrity in the face of manipulation tactics is not just a defense mechanism, but a declaration of your inner strength and commitment to truth. In the intricate dance of navigating relationships and self-preservation, setting boundaries becomes an art of balance. It requires both firmness and flexibility, a delicate equilibrium that protects without alienating, asserts without dominating. Your boundaries are a reflection of your self-care, a manifestation of your commitment to honoring yourself and others. Through these boundaries, you carve out a space where your values are sacred and your integrity unwavering. As you move forward, hold on to the understanding that boundaries are not punitive measures, but rather self-affirming statements. They are declarations of your worth and invitations for genuine connections based on respect and understanding. Embrace the discomfort that may arise from setting boundaries, for in that discomfort lies the seed of personal growth and empowerment. By fortifying your boundaries with clarity and compassion, you pave the way for deeper, more enriching relationships and a profound alignment with your true self. Chapter 9. Journey of Personal Growth. In the world of manipulation, perception is reality. Niccolò Machiavelli. Through the dusty window, the early morning sun splayed its fingers across the worn floor of Samantha's quaint office. Outside, the city was just rubbing the sleep out of its eyes, with the shuffle of feet and the distant din of awakening commerce. She sat, her figure a silhouette against the light, poring over the case files spread before her like a fortune teller reading cards of fate. These were more than mere files. They were stories of lives at crossroads, some battered by winds of misfortune, others etched by streaks of moral ambiguity. Her thoughts churned like the storm cloud she saw brewing over the city skyline, as she contemplated her next move in a career riddled with complex social dynamics. Integrity was her lighthouse, but even lighthouses flicker in dire straits. In her role as a family law attorney, ethics formed the bedrock of her decisions, often tough ones that could reshape the foundations of what family meant to those involved. There was a rustle as she reached for the leather-bound notebook that had become her constant companion over the years. It held more than notes. It was a mirror to her heart and mind. On its pages, she examined her actions, their alignment with her core values, and the ever-evolving understanding of her deeper self. This thoughtfulness wasn't just academic. It was a lifeline in her professional tempest. The creak of her office door brought her back from the precipice of contemplation. Her assistant entered, her demeanor a mix of reverence and concern. He came bearing news of a recent development in a case, a development that could either be a beacon or an omen. The ground beneath Samantha seemed to shift infinitesimally, and for a moment, she felt as if she were standing at the helm of a ship, navigating not just through legal straits, but human ones too. She thanked her assistant with a nod, her eyes not moving from the horizon of her desk. She drew a deep breath that filled the space around her, the sigh of the seasoned, of the braced. What loomed ahead was a testament to her belief in the justice system, in its ability to rise above the cacophony of personal agendas and strike a chord that resonated with equity. Gazing outside once more, she witnessed the sun nudge the edge of a particularly dark cloud. It was a silent battle between light and shadow, a subtle drama that infused her with an odd sense of camaraderie. If the skies could wade through such turmoil and emerge with clarity each day, then maybe, just maybe, so could she. Where lies the delicate balance between personal values and professional duty, when choices made can ripple through the lives of others? Unveiling the strength within, building your fortress of resilience. Resilience is an art, a continuous process reflecting a relentless pursuit of personal mastery. It is within this transformative odyssey where your integration of self-awareness and ethical decision-making becomes your compass, where the clarity in navigating social intricacies acts as your guiding North Star. This journey does not promise ease or a world without deception. Yet, it is possible to unveil one's potent fortitude amid the whirlwinds of dark psychology. Venturing through this path requires an unwavering commitment to self-discovery and an honest evaluation of one's core values. Embracing continuous learning initiates the unveiling of deeper self-awareness. The layers of who you believe yourself to be, often construed by past events, societal expectations, or self-imposed limitations, are gradually peeled back, revealing the unadorned truth of your being. A journey of personal growth navigates through the uncharted territories of the mind, where hidden beneath the shadows lie the very strategies meant to manipulate and deceive. Encountering these strategies head-on is essential, for learning about dark psychology is not merely an academic quest. It is a means to fortify oneself from its insidious grasp. Ethical decisions, congruent with your deepest convictions, form the framework of your character. Integrity emerges as a beacon when confronted with the perils of manipulation. It demands a clear understanding of right and wrong, an unwavering adherence to doing what is just, and the authentic expression of oneself. In essence, weaving the thread of ethics through the fabric of daily encounters enriches the tapestry of your interactions, painting a resilient masterpiece that resists the onslaught of manipulation. Navigating the intricate web of social dynamics calls for both insight and discernment. The ability to perceive the undercurrents of manipulation while remaining steadfast in one's integrity is akin to walking through a maze with a reliable map. Protection against these covert tides stems from a deeply anchored sense of self and a practiced clarity in judgment. The turbulence of deceit and pretense then becomes less about entrapment and more a dance, one that you lead with graceful resilience. Blueprint for a shielded psyche. Step 1. Strengthen self-esteem and self-worth. Begin by fostering a healthy sense of self-esteem and self-worth. Dive into pursuits that bring you alive, activities that resonate with your essence and amplify your internal narrative of self-appreciation. It is imperative to be in communion with people who uplift and echo back the value you breathe into your life. This process takes time, often weeks or even months. It's about gradual enrichment, not instant gratification. Step 2. Establish clear boundaries. Defining your personal boundaries is a non-negotiable frontier in your stronghold against manipulation. Communication of these boundaries should be as clear as a crystalline stream, unambiguous and assertive. Protecting these boundaries is an exercise in consistency and self-respect. Decision-making, steeped in the power to say no, lights the path to a protected psyche. This can be a daily practice as situations arise that test your limits. Step 3. Develop emotional resilience. Emotional resilience blooms when you face your emotions squarely, without evasion or distortion. Engage in reflective practices, journaling, mindfulness, or heartfelt dialogues that allow for the processing and understanding of emotional experiences. Emotional fortitude strengthens over time, months and years, through practice and patience. Step 4. Improve communication skills. A mastery in communication is non-negotiable. It serves as the channel through which you articulate your inner landscape, your thoughts, your emotions, your needs. The clarity of this expression is the antidote to manipulation. Paired with the art of listening, this step transcends mere interaction and molds into a shield of comprehension and intentionality. Daily practice in various circumstances refines these skills incrementally. Step 5. Practice independent thinking. The cultivation of critical thinking and independence in your cognitive processes shields you from the seduction of groupthink and propaganda. This is about breaking ground on new intellectual territories and questioning the status quo. Independent thinking demands regular self-inquiry and exposure to diverse perspectives, often taking weeks, if not months of exposure and critical debate. Step 6. Educate others. Armed with insights and experiences, spreading the light of awareness becomes your gift to the world. The education of others regarding dark psychology's snares elevates your journey of personal growth to one of communal upliftment. This transfer of wisdom can manifest in daily interactions or through structured efforts over months and years. Pathways to illumination and self-mastery are varied and complex. Within this chapter reside keys to a resilient existence in the face of dark psychology's onslaught. Equipped with knowledge and refined by practice, your journey of personal growth is not only a testament to your endurance, but a beacon of hope for those who trek alongside you. Engaging in continuous learning for self-awareness. Continuous learning is our mental sustenance. It enriches our understanding of the self and our place in the world. Information is abundant, but wisdom is cultivated through the deliberate pursuit of knowledge. To know oneself deeply, one must commit to learning with an insatiable curiosity, one that does not wane when confronted by the familiar, but rather is ignited by the potential for growth within the ordinary. Imagine your mind as a garden. Just as a gardener must continuously tend to their plants, pulling out weeds and sowing new seeds, you must nurture your mind with fresh ideas and perspectives to keep it vibrant and growing. Neglecting the garden of your mind leads to the overgrowth of outdated ideas and stagnation. In the realm of personal growth, continuous learning involves reflecting on experiences, seeking feedback, and consuming various forms of knowledge, books, conversations, formal education, and many others. It requires an active engagement with the process, questioning not only the world around you, but also interrogating your own beliefs and values. Conversations with different people serve as a mirror, reflecting aspects of ourselves we may not have recognized. Embracing diversity in thought and experience allows us to better understand our biases and limitations. By doing so, we create a full-color spectrum of understanding in a world that often presents false dichotomies, painted only in black and white. The flow of learning is like a river. Just as water shapes the land through its persistent flow, our continuous learning shapes who we are. It carves out our depths and directs our paths forward. And in the steadfast commitment to self-awareness, we not only discover ourselves, but also build the resilience to navigate life's challenges. Continuous learning is the cornerstone of deep self-awareness and personal growth. Step by step, the ethical compass resolve. Building resilience against manipulation. Living in an era steeped in manipulation requires us to have a moral compass and the resilience to safeguard our minds. Resilience can be envisioned as a shield, but rather than simply deflecting blows, Resilience allows us to engage with the world in a way that aligns with our core values. It's about making ethical decisions that resonate with the truth of who we are. And here's how one can begin to forge this integrity. Strengthen self-esteem and self-worth. To stem the tides of manipulation, one must start by fortifying the sense of self. Activities that spark joy and challenge us can bolster confidence. Pursue hobbies, engage in positive affirmations, and celebrate small victories. The company we keep is instrumental too. It's essential to be surrounded by individuals who affirm our worth and encourage our growth. Establish clear boundaries. Boundaries are the fortress walls that protect our values and autonomy. By cleaving to clear personal limits and vocalizing them to those around us, we ensure these walls are respected. When overstepped, it is our right, our responsibility even, to assertively reinforce them. Mastering the art of saying no is a powerful tool in this respect. Develop emotional resilience. The heart must be agile, capable of experiencing emotion without being capsized by its waves. Emotional resilience isn't about avoidance, it's about acceptance and constructive expression. Whether through journaling, mindfulness, or heartfelt discussions, processing emotions is key to maintaining our inner equilibrium. Improve communication skills. Proper navigation through manipulative waters requires clear, confident communication. Precisely and openly articulating thoughts and needs, while empathetically listening to others, provides clarity. It draws a line in the sand between influence and coercion, allowing us to stand firm in our truth. Practice independent thinking. Independent thought is the compass by which we chart our course. This means asking the tough questions and seeking multiple perspectives. Even well-established beliefs must occasionally be held to the light to ensure they still hold true. It is through this that we become less susceptible to deceptive currents. Educate others. Our final step is to become a beacon for others. Sharing insights and strategies to combat manipulation not only empowers those around us, but also fortifies our own understanding. In fostering a resilient community, we push back against the tide of deceit as a united front. This structured approach enables us to make decisions that reflect who we are and aspire to be. It is a journey, not a sprint, and while we adapt our stride through experience, our ethical compass will always point the way forward. Do the decisions you make daily truly reflect the core values you hold, or could they be echoes of someone else's voice? Navigating social dynamics with integrity and clarity. In the landscape of social interaction, integrity is akin to a lighthouse, offering guidance amidst the fog of societal pressures and manipulative tactics. To interact with others while preserving our values demands both an internal understanding and an external strategy. When thinking about the complexities of social dynamics, imagine a crowded market. Each stallholder shouts over the other, vying for your attention. In this scenario, integrity is knowing which voices align with your needs and values, and which ones to walk past without a second glance. Asserting ourselves in the midst of strong external influences starts from an internal foundation of strength. Knowing what we stand for, and more importantly why, allows us to confront social dynamics without being swayed unduly. This self-awareness breeds a clarity that cuts through the noise. This clarity also emanates through the boundaries we establish. They guide interactions and signal to others how we expect to be treated, serving as a vital mechanism in maintaining integrity. These boundaries are not walls to keep others out, but rather guidelines that create harmonious social engagement. However, navigating social dynamics isn't just about defense, it's also about understanding. Active listening and empathy afford us a deeper insight into the motivations and feelings of others, enriching our interactions and helping to sidestep misunderstandings that could be exploited. The process of building resilience against manipulation in the social sphere mirrors the steps of ethical decision-making. We must continually nurture self-worth, define and maintain boundaries, develop emotional resilience, enhance communications, think independently, and share our wisdom. Each step not only refines our character, but also reinforces our integrity as we maneuver through the web of social relationships. By intertwining the principles of continuous learning, ethical decision-making, and integrity in social dynamics, we chart a path of personal growth unswayed by the deceptive and manipulative forces in our lives. Embrace the journey of growth. As you close this transformative chapter of introspection and growth, remember that personal evolution is not a destination, but a continuous voyage. Engaging in lifelong learning propels you towards deeper self-awareness, unveiling hidden facets of your being waiting to be discovered. By exploring new knowledge, ideas, and experiences, you enrich your perspective and cultivate the capacity to navigate life with a heightened sense of understanding and compassion. Uphold your ethical compass. Making ethical decisions aligned with your core values serves as a beacon, guiding your actions in a moral and principled direction. As you encounter challenges and dilemmas along your path, anchoring yourself to your beliefs fortifies your integrity and steers you towards choices that resonate with authenticity and dignity. Upholding your ethical code forms the bedrock of a resilient mind that stands steadfast amidst the tumult of external influences. Navigate social dynamics with clarity. In the intricate web of relationships and interactions, navigating social dynamics with integrity and clarity empowers you to maintain your authenticity and sense of self amidst external pressures. By fostering genuine connections and genuine interactions, you enrich your social landscape with honesty and transparency, creating a space where trust can flourish. Act with clarity and discernment, navigating the currents of human interaction with grace and respect. Embrace growth, uphold integrity, nurture clarity. In the vast expanse of personal evolution, each step you take towards growth, each decision you make rooted in integrity, and each interaction navigated with clarity shapes the resilient fabric of your mind. Embrace the journey of growth as a sacred quest for self-discovery, a continuous unfolding of your true essence. Let your values be the guiding stars illuminating your path, and may your interactions be infused with the authenticity and honesty that define your character. As you navigate this intricate tapestry of life, remember that true resilience is not merely enduring, but thriving in the face of challenges, growing stronger with each passage of time. Chapter 10. Integrating Dark Psychology for Ethical Growth. The greatest victory is to conquer oneself. For the one who controls their own mind holds the key to all. Buddha. In the warm twilight of a bustling cafe, the aroma of freshly ground coffee mingling with the scent of antiquated wood, sat a solitary figure cloaked in contemplation. John, a man of principle, found himself in an ethical quagmire, the soft murmurs of the patrons around him a mere backdrop to the cacophony of thoughts battling within his mind's confines. It was a day like any other, with the sun bowing out with a customary grace, dipping beneath a horizon that lined the silhouette of an ever-busy city. But for John, this twilight was different. His company, on the cusp of a technological breakthrough, faced an ethical decision that lay heavily on his shoulders as the head of research. On the one hand, there was the allure of a dazzling advancement, and on the other, a potential compromise on the integrity that had been the foundation of his personal and professional edifice. Memories like persistent waves washed over him. His days as a student, vibrant and unyielding in his values, echoed through the din of the cafe. He wanted his growth, his ascent to what he had become, to speak volumes about his commitment to ethical behavior, not just within the gleam of public scrutiny, but in the silent chambers of his conscience. He observed the barista, a young woman whose hands danced with an effortless precision, a symphony of mundane yet mesmerizing movements reflecting an unwritten code of excellence. It intrigued him, that adherence to an internal barometer of right and wrong, a narrative of integrity without external acclaim. His thoughts scattered as a child dropped a spoon nearby, the clang a prelude to a mother's gentle words, and the wide-eyed innocence gazing up at her. A simple, everyday interaction, yet it spoke to the heart of his dilemma, This is what he yearned to exemplify, this unwavering sense of doing what is right, not for the fear of consequence, but for the love of virtue itself. To choose the path less trodden, to uphold what he knew in his core to be true, that was the ethos his situation demanded. What would the ripple effect of his decision be? Could he transform this understanding of integrity into a tangible action that not only upheld his personal creed, but also set a precedent within the fabric of corporate dynamics? As the cafe's ambient light stretched into the growing shadows of evening, John pondered upon the countless individuals navigating their own societal mazes with discernment and ethical decision-making. He realized the fulcrum on which the scales of integrity balanced was not merely a personal crossing, but a collective journey where each footprint set the groundwork for those who would tread the path hence. One question loomed, sharp and unyielding, in the midst of his musing. How would he, with his decision tonight, chart the course for a future where the allure of achievement would not dim the glow of ethical allegiance? Ethical mastery in a world of shadows. To tread through the maze of human interaction requires not just a map of the bright corridors, but an understanding of the shadows that lie within. By embracing dark psychology as a field of study, we acknowledge the existence of manipulation and deception in our social world. Yet, knowledge alone is insufficient if we do not furnish it with ethical commitment and personal development. This chapter is the convergence point of understanding and actionable ethical behavior, aiming to sculpt a vigilant yet compassionate individual. Dark psychology, with its intricate mechanisms of social influence, can be a force majeure in shaping behavior. However, harnessing its power for ethical growth necessitates an uncompromising commitment to integrity. The moment we decide to transform our newfound understanding into tangible actions, we embark on a journey of fortification, not just of our minds, but of our core values. The reader should discern this not as a confrontation, but as an invitation to a higher standard of interpersonal engagement. Integrity in action is the crucible where theoretical knowledge of dark psychology forges with the material of our daily lives. The previous chapters have laid the groundwork for this synthesis. They have equipped us with awareness and defensive strategies against manipulation, but now we illuminate the paths ahead, choosing to navigate our society with discernment and ethical decision-making skills. Our cognitive maps have expanded, now encompassing the topography of human darkness, but also the routes to evade its grasp. Resilience is not built on avoidance, but on the adept application of knowledge. The reader's journey mirrors the resilience this chapter espouses, a steady, mindful progression towards complexity, with the capability to utilize powerful psychological tools without forfeiting one's moral compass. Each decision, interaction, and relationship becomes a testament to the ethical principles pinpointed throughout this exploration. Transcending the traditional boundaries of self-protection, we find that ethical growth nourishes the roots of our being while serving as a beacon for others. It is a testament to our ability to rise above the misuse of psychology and exemplify a standard of behavior that respects the autonomy and dignity of all individuals while safeguarding our mental territory. It's an act of balancing awareness and compassion, strength and empathy, traits that fortify not just the self but the fabric of society. The theme of ethical consciousness in action interlaces through our final discourse, revealing itself as a profound amalgam of strategy and philosophy. This chapter invites reflection on the personal values and beliefs which we must hold steadfast as we engage with a complex, often deceptive world. As we progress through this narrative, the threads of earlier discussions intertwine, forming a coherent tapestry of resilience. In embracing the insights and strategies shared, there is great hope and aspiration for the reader. The potential for change and growth is real and within grasp. The toolkit you now possess, replete with both shields and compasses, aims to guide your voyage through the expansive sea of human interactions. Here you stand, embarking upon ethical mastery, not as a mere survivor of dark psychological tides, but as a navigator charting a course toward a horizon brightened by personal growth and ethical clarity. Commit to ethical behavior, and personal growth. When we speak of growth, it's easy to imagine the steady progress of a tree, reaching higher into the sky as it ages. Personal development, likewise, is about upward progression, becoming a better version of yourself over time. But growth isn't just measured in stature, achievements, or accolades. It's reflected in the integrity of our actions and the consistency of our ethical behavior. That's the firm soil and rich nutrients needed for a strong, upright tree. At the root of ethical behavior is a commitment to doing what is right, even when no one is watching. Consider the trust we place in various professionals in our lives, from doctors to electricians, trusting they will perform their duties with our best interests in mind. Similarly, as individuals, we should strive to earn trust through our ethical choices, impacting not just ourselves, but society at large. Navigating this path requires a steady compass. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to encourage healthy growth, we too must regularly assess our behavior, trim the excesses, and nurture our conscience. This daily cultivation of ethics builds a robust moral framework that supports our decisions and interactions, which is essential for genuine personal development. The world is increasingly connected, with every action and choice subject to scrutiny. In this fishbowl, some may feel tempted to don a disguise, presenting a facade that serves their interests. But growth is not a costume to slip on for appearances. It is an inner transformation. Choosing ethical behavior is like growing deep roots. It stabilizes you when storms rage, and without it, the tallest tree can falter. Living according to such principles may not always yield immediate benefits, but much like the steady growth of a tree, the results are enduring and provide shelter not only to oneself but also to those in our shade. Ethical behavior and personal development, when intertwined, lead to a resilience that can withstand the tempests of life's uncertainties. Ethical behavior is the bedrock upon which true personal development is built and sustained. Transform understanding into tangible actions that uphold integrity. Understanding ethics in theory is one page in the book. Living it out in daily life is the entire story. One may grasp the concepts of honesty, fairness, and respect, but the act of weaving these principles into the fabric of our actions is where the true art lies. It's about transforming those understandatives into tangible actions that resonate with integrity through all aspects of our existence. But how do we bridge the gap between knowing and doing? It begins with reflection, allowing our actions to mirror the values we uphold in the quiet halls of our conscience. This is not unlike an artist who must turn a blank canvas into a masterpiece through deliberate strokes. Each choice we make is a stroke of that brush, creating a picture that either aligns or conflicts with our principles. When our actions align with our values, we experience a harmony that is deeply affirming. This is exemplified in the reliability of a clock, each gear turning in concert, each tick echoing integrity. Wherever we find ourselves, whatever role we play, let every tick of our efforts echo the talk of ethical behavior. We know this is easier said than done. In a world where rewards often favor shortcuts and personal gain, holding on to integrity might feel like holding onto a kite in a strong wind. It takes effort, unwavering focus, and sometimes the sacrifice of immediate gratification. But the view from above, the sense of soaring high anchored by our values, is unparalleled. To make the abstract concrete, take time to ponder your decisions. Consider the outcome, the stakeholders, and the impact on your character. Like the sculptor who sees the figure within the block of marble, ethics requires us to chip away until our actions reveal the best self hidden within. What if each of us became an artist of integrity, painting our days with the vivid colors of ethical action? Navigate society with discernment and ethical decision-making skills. Walking through society's landscape is an exercise in navigation. Every turn, every pathway carries the potential for choices, and each choice comes with a consequence. Navigating with discernment and ethical decision-making skills is like being a cartographer of character, mapping one's route not only for personal advancement, but also tracing paths that lead to the common good. The compass for this journey is ethical discernment. This tool helps us read the contours of the moral landscape, determine the high ground of principle versus the quagmire of expediency. It demands of us to listen, not just to the loudest voices, but to the soft whispers of our inner moral guide. In grasping the nuances of human behavior, we uncover the need for keen observation, much like a detective at a scene. Each social setting carries subtle cues and hidden motivations, which, when understood, can steer us away from manipulation and towards authentic interactions. Decisions are then based not on superficial impressions, but on a deep understanding of the framework of ethics. Critical to our journey is the resilience to stand firm when the prevailing winds blow against our moral direction. A tree does not uproot itself chasing the sun. Instead, it grows stronger, adapting its leaves to capture light. As societal norms shift and pressure mounts, our ability to uphold ethical standards must adapt without compromising our core principles. In the crucible of society's demands, we must act not merely as passive participants, but as active shapers of our destiny and the world's. It's about anchoring our choices to a cornerstone of ethics, not merely to avoid the pitfalls of dubious actions, but to construct a legacy that endures and inspires. By committing to ethical behavior for personal growth, transforming understanding into tangible actions, and navigating society with discernment, we fortify our lives with a resilience that is impenetrable to the deceptions and manipulations of the world. Igniting empowerment. Answering the call to action. People who help others with zero expectations experience higher levels of fulfillment, live longer, and make more money. I'd like to give you the opportunity to convey this value during your reading or listening experience. In order to do so, I have a simple question for you. Would you help someone you have never met if it did not cost you money, but you did not get credit for it? If so, I have a request to make on behalf of someone you do not know, and probably never will. They are just like you, or like you were a few years ago, less experienced, full of desire to help the world, looking for information but unsure where to look. This is where you come in. The only way for me to accomplish my mission of helping other people is first by reaching them. And indeed, most people judge a book by its cover and reviews. If you have found this book valuable so far, would you please take a brief moment right now and leave an honest review of the book and its contents? It will not cost you $1 and less than 60 seconds. Your review will help one more person to find a way to improve their life. One more individual support his or her family. One more friend experiencing a change they would never have experienced otherwise. One more life change for the better. To make that happen, all you have to do is, and this takes less than 60 seconds, leave a review. P.S. If you feel good about helping a faceless people, you are my kind of people. I'm really excited to helping you improve in the coming chapters. You'll love the tactics I'm about to share. PPS. Life hack. If you introduce something valuable to someone, they associate that value with you. If you'd like goodwill directly from another person, send them this book. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And now back to our book. Your biggest fan, Logan. Conclusion. Final thoughts. As you journey through the intricate world of dark psychology and its manipulative techniques, one thing becomes abundantly clear. Ethical behavior and personal development are your shield and sword. By committing to these principles, you not only safeguard your mind, but also fortify your resilience against manipulation and deception. Embracing ethical growth. Transforming understanding into tangible actions is paramount. It's not enough to simply be aware of the dark tactics employed by others. You must actively uphold integrity in all your interactions. Your commitment to ethical behavior is not a passive stance, but a proactive choice to navigate the complexities of human relationships with grace and honor. Empowering decision-making. As you navigate society, remember that discernment and ethical decision-making skills are your compass. Trust your intuition, but also rely on your newfound knowledge of dark psychology to see through the veils of deception that others may weave. By staying true to your values and beliefs, you pave the way for a brighter, more authentic path forward. In the tapestry of life, you hold the threads of your own destiny. By weaving together the lessons learned from the shadows of human behavior, you emerge not as a victim of manipulation, but as a master of your own fate. With awareness as your guide and integrity as your compass, you walk the path of ethical growth and personal empowerment, embracing the light through understanding darkness. In traversing the complex landscapes of dark psychology, we've embarked on a journey not just of understanding, but of profound personal transformation. It is my hope that through the pages of this exploration, you have found not just knowledge, but also a deeper connection with your own inner resilience and a renewed sense of empowerment. As we conclude this journey together, it is vital to reflect on the paths we've walked, the insights we've gathered, and how we might apply these in navigating the winding trails of our everyday lives. The content of this book was crafted to serve as both a map and a compass for those venturing into the dimly lit realms of psychological manipulation and deception. It is designed to provide you with the tools necessary to recognize, understand, and protect yourself against the manipulative tactics that pervade our world. But beyond that, this exploration was an invitation to engage deeply with your own values, beliefs, and strengths, forging a path toward personal growth and resilience. Applying insights for real-world resilience. The real-world applications of understanding dark psychology are vast and varied. From enhancing one's personal relationships to navigating the intricacies of professional environments, the knowledge you have gained is a shield and a beacon. Whether you are a psychologist deepening your understanding of human behavior, a law enforcement officer honing your investigative skills, or an individual seeking to fortify your mental and emotional well-being, the insights contained within these pages have equipped you to face the challenges of manipulation and deception with confidence and wisdom. As you move forward, I encourage you to apply these insights with both mindfulness and compassion. Remember, the goal of understanding dark psychology is not to foster suspicion or fear, but to empower yourself to make decisions that protect and nurture your well-being and that of those around you. The core pillars of our journey. Let us briefly recap the main ideas that form the pillars of our exploration. Awareness. Recognizing the signs of manipulation and understanding the psychological mechanisms behind such behaviors is the first step toward safeguarding ourselves. Empowerment. Knowledge grants us power, the power to choose, to act, and to protect. Empowerment is about using this knowledge to cultivate strength and resilience within ourselves. Resilience. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Resilience is both our shield and our beacon, guiding us through dark times and back into the light. In integrating these core pillars into your life, consider starting with small, actionable steps. Reflect on your daily interactions through the lens of awareness. Ask yourself how you can apply your newfound knowledge to make more empowered choices. And finally, recognize and celebrate each act of resilience, no matter how small. Acknowledging the journey's edges. This book, while comprehensive, is not without its limitations. The vast expanse of human psychology and behavior cannot be encapsulated in a single volume, and hence, there remains much left to explore. I encourage you, the reader, to view this book not as an endpoint, but as a beginning, a launchpad for deeper investigation and self-exploration. A call to empowered action. As we part ways on this leg of the journey, I invite you to continue exploring, learning, and growing. Let the insights you've gained not just be knowledge hoarded, but wisdom applied. Use this understanding not only to protect yourself, but also to contribute to a world where manipulation and deception are met with the resilient and enlightened minds of individuals like yourself. In closing, I leave you with a thought to carry forward. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. This quote, attributed to Albert Camus, speaks to the essence of our exploration. It is within each of us to find the strength, the resilience, and the invincible summer that dark psychology cannot dim. May your journey from here Be illuminated by the light of awareness, empowerment, and resilience. How a simple trick to decode human behavior saved me from manipulation, and how you can use it to safeguard your mind and build resilience. Have you ever felt uneasy exploring the darker aspects of human behavior? Are you ready to uncover the mysteries behind manipulation and enhance your resilience? Imagine walking into a room and sensing the subtle shifts in energy, the hidden motives behind polite smiles, and the threads of influence woven into every conversation. You're not alone if you worry about being manipulated or controlled. What if you could decode these hidden forces and protect your mind? With Dark Psychology Unmasked, you'll uncover practical tools to shield yourself from manipulation, cultivate resilience, and gain the ultimate freedom, a mind truly under your control. Thanks to this all-in-one blueprint, you'll discover how to unmask hidden manipulation tactics, recognize deception before it affects your thoughts or actions, empowering you to stay ahead. Strengthen your mental defenses, fortify your mind against influence, control, and intimidation. Unlock the secrets of persuasion, understand how dark psychology operates in everyday life, and protect yourself from subtle tactics. Turn the tables on manipulators. Identify and counteract attempts to influence your emotions or decisions. Cultivate lasting mental resilience. Build the confidence and stamina to face any psychological tactic with clarity. And there's more. We wanted this guide to offer not only insight, but a truly valuable toolkit for mastering interactions. That's why we've included an exclusive bonus, the Art of Persuasion ebook. This edition delves into the finer points of persuasive techniques, allowing you to deepen your skills and expand your understanding of influence. Are you ready to see the world as it truly is? Start listening today and reclaim the power over your own destiny.